Hello everyone and welcome to Laurence Plays, and it's a Wednesday, which means it's Foundry Day. And last week, what happened last week? Yes, I remember. Last week I was playing around with all the Xeno tech stuff, and that means this box of tricks down here. And this is a hungry little thing that requires you to feed it various bits and pieces in order to do various advanced researches. So I did all the Xeno scrap ones, which is where you go around picking up these little bits of scrap off the floor and then feeding them into the machine, and you get researches, and then eventually you can then scan them and find them underground, and then you have to find crystals. So you have to find a crystal before you can use the scanner to find crystals. Fair enough. So I've done that. Then you can get down to here where you can tune it to also then try and find the damaged power cores. And then, hello regular, welcome. And then you can find the damaged power cores, and you can start doing all of this shenaniganery. Some of which I've done, and some of which I haven't bothered to unlock yet because it didn't seem that important. What's this on scrap recycling? Okay, fine, don't care about that. Would like to unlock these ones, and certainly would like to unlock these ones. But then I started playing with the charged xenocrystals, and you need large quantities of these to do various things. And you get the charged crystals by going out and finding the normal crystals and then putting them into a machine like this one in order to charge them up. And so I've been doing that, and I've generated a quantity of charged crystals, and I put them all in this box here. As you can see, I've got 394, and that's somewhat fewer than I need in order to unlock this final power core scanner here. However, last stream, I went off into the far distant reaches of the map because, as you may or may not remember, when I upgraded to update 3, I'd explored out as far as the edge of this orange area. And so that meant that none of the area outside in this sort of area got automatically scanned. None of the area inside had any chance of having caves or scrap or crystals or any of that sort of stuff, because it hadn't been generated since by the new algorithms that generated all of that, stuff. And so I then had to push further out in order to get all these resources. But one of the things I did find was out here. There is a resource node for the alien scrap here, so I can whack a drill on that. And I've actually gone off and got another one over down here. So we're drilling up alien scrap there. It's being brought in over this way into the factory. And then I went off this way and found another node here, as I say, but I didn't put a drill on that because, like a muppet, I forgot to take all the bits and pieces with me that I needed to make the drill. So, oops. But okay, fine. And then I carried on further on up here, and this was the first and only crystal patch that I found so far. So whacking a mining drill on that will give me a steady but rather slow stream of crystals. And I spent rather a long time last stream building up a very, very long belt all the way down here like this in order to carry those crystals back into my factory, where I can actually start to do things with them. And so far, do things with them has meant, I think I brought them to... Did I? Yes, I put in an elevator or two over here, didn't I? Yes, and that looks a bit ridiculous. I should probably clear that out. So I've got two elevators over here, and these are going to start bringing up the crystals and the scrap, and then I can bring them out along here, and that means I can then feed the crystals directly into my crystallizer over here. What else do you need? Okay, you do need something. No, you don't. Right, I might move this machine over onto the other side. I might move it over to here, actually, because I don't think I really need very many of the normal crystals. So I'll move this from there to over here somewhere, extend this pipe, and get it set up around here, and then it'll be a bit easier to bring over the crystals. The scrap will also come out of here, and we'll work something out with that as well, and see how we want to get that all hooked up. And then I can carry on, and then I can leave it, and then things will be automated, so I can leave this crystal charger just charging crystals as they come in. I won't have to mine them anymore, and that'll be very nice because mining them is a faff. Right, so you need to be over there. You need to have belts coming out. Let's get the belts out first and think about what we've done. And before that as well, let's say this looks ridiculous. I don't want it. So we'll take it back to... In fact, you know what? We'll take it all the way over to under here. Alright, so I want to go back to 37. Okay, that's going to be tricky because that's right on the limit of what I'm capable of doing. and 38 this way. Okay, so to try and get up to 37. Like that. And then come out here and say, yes, I would like to just lose the entire mountain, please. We can do that. And then the bots will come out and deal with that for me, which will be rather nice of them. I'm practically to the point where I'm going to be bursting into the cave over here, where the copper belts used to come out many moons ago. I wouldn't like to say exactly when that was, but it was literally months ago, so I feel that's fairly accurate. Right, so now back down here again. These guys are, as I say, going to have the resources coming out of them, so I would like some exerters. Pop, pop, like that. And these are both to be oh, come on, stop double-clicking. Exerters like that. There we go. And then we can have belts coming out of those. And I've got some belts left, so this will be okay. We'll have you come out like that. And, oh, that's the scrap belt. Fine. And then that comes out there. It's not so much that I'm craving the sky, as much as this cantilevered big chunk of earth looks ridiculous. Now, when I was just digging a cave in here and putting machines in it, I was sort of okay with that. But this, I feel, this bit looks kind of silly, and I don't like it. Okay, so there's my crystals. We're going to have to loop round this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it all the way to over here. So let's shoot this tree. Sentences I never thought I'd say. And then I'm going to put in, some more foundation over here. Where can I get power from? I don't know. We'll worry about that in a moment. But I've got 4 belts there, in fact. So let's put a chunk of foundation there and go, this is where things are going to be. In fact, we're going to need power for any inserters as well. So I'll put that there as well. Oh, do I need the batteries? Yes, I need the batteries for this. Which means we're going to have a dip in this belt and then put the inserter in along here. Okay, that's okay. I can manage that. But that means the machine needs to go right up against here, which is a little bit weird, but okay. And then the machine is 4. So given the machine is 4 wide, I don't feel too bad about saying we'll have an inserter there, then machine 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, oops. That isn't what I meant to do at all. Remove those. There we go. Try that again. So machine 1, 2, 3, 4 for the machine, a gap for the inserter, and then a belt here. So 1 belt going along there, 1 going along there, and these are going to be the 2 types of Xeno shenaniganery. And we'll run them along these 2 belts, and they'll go round the outside of this thing, Xeno chest. So you are going to go from there over here, and we'll leave a bit of space because you never know. I might want to feed more stuff into this chest at some point. So we'll swing quite wide round it like this, and then we'll encounter a tree, but that's okay. We'll deal with that another time. In fact, we'll just keep going. Let's just keep going all the way over to here, and we'll have this belt come in like this and like that, and that means I can then run this one. Actually, let's shoot the tree first, like that. And let's not have a ramp in there for no apparent reason. You can't go over a tree. If you're going to put a ramp in, at least put a ramp in a way that is actually going to work, rather than just going, hey, you know what, I can put a ramp in here, and you still won't be able to get past the tree because the tree is taller than the ramp. But I'm going to do it anyway, because that's silly and unhelpful. Nope, that's the wrong button. Then we go to there, and there, and there. Right, so there we go. That's my 2 Xeno materials being brought out. Now I can fly over here, pick this building up. So, there we go, like that. And also this inserter. And pipe. You are going to carry on a bit further underground, and we'll work out where you need to come up momentarily. So you're going to come along here. Actually, that could probably... Right, let's put the machine in and then think about how we're going to fit everything in around it. So it's that guy, the crystal refiner, and his pipe input. Right, okay, we'll have the pipe input on this side. We'll put the machine there because we can. That'll do. Then the pipe is to carry. That is my pipe hole, isn't it? If you pardon the expression. Yes, that is. So along here, give me that. I would like to go down. Would like to have a 1x1, please, and we'll go down here. Yes, here. I don't know how deep this hole needs to be, but now we'll come back over here and I'll extend this tunnel. And this is a 1x3, so that I can run along it even when there's a pipe in it. Fine. Oh yeah, and we're going to use we use this for it because it's a much easier way to actually get a 1x3 tunnel. So we can do that, and I'll use my personal drones for this because it's like right here, and there's not that much of it, so it's going to be a lot quicker to just punch a hole through like this. And nope, that isn't far enough. So we'll do another chunk. 17 is probably more than enough, and we want a height of 3 once again. Ah, there we go. Here's the hole. Right, good. Pylon to transformer. Oh yes, I haven't put power into that to the ground area that I just put in. You're quite right. I will do that momentarily because I forgot. But no, there's plenty of power around here, so I don't feel like I need to worry too much about getting power to there. I just need to remember to do it. I guess you go in there. Yeah, all right. That's a slightly wonky pipe, but it'll do. Right, and there we go. And there's still a hole I can drop down here in order to get to the ground there. So there is power just over here. So if I shoot a hole in the ground here like that and that and that, then I can foundation all the way across here like this, and boom, it's plugged in, just like that. So now you are going to the crystal refiner is going to refine crystals, funnily enough. And then, right, this is the slightly fiddly bit. Over here, I need to remove 5 pieces of belt, and it can't be here. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And bother, that's not going to work. Because I was going to have this go down. Okay, I'll just have to put in another. I'll have to have this go down 2 instead of down 1. That's a bit of a shame, because the inserter is going to need a building block to power it. So I can put that there, and then say I would like to put a level 3 inserter on there, and that will work once I put the belt in. Let's put the belt in so I don't forget. That will work fine. The batteries will go into the machine, and it'll start doing magic crystal things. Well, it will when I put the crystals in, but I need to finish this belt here off. So that's going to need to go down 2, which means I'm going to need to dig another hole so it can go underneath there. Like that. Then it can, once it gets past here, it can then start to come back up again. Right, so you go down 2. No, down 2. I always get that the wrong way around for some reason. My muscle memory seems to expect up to be Q and down to be E for some reason, which is the wrong way around. Yeah, it's worth noting, and that's why it doesn't work. Then we'll come back up here, and boom, just joins it back on. There we go. That actually was not too bad. I'm happy with that. Happy with that improvement. Happy with that modification. And it's only mildly spaghetti. Right, so I can then put that in there, and I wonder what sort of size this buffer's up to. Fallen in the hole. I wonder what sort of size this buffer's up to, and I should probably fill this in as well, just because otherwise I'm going to continue to fall in the hole all the time. There we go. Why are you an exerter? Don't be an exerter. Nobody likes an exerter. No, that's not true. They're useful in places, but I don't want one there. Right, okay, so that is now going to just run, and it'll generate up to crystals on the output there, and then I can come along and steal them every so often and shove them in the box over there. Or alternatively, and far more sensibly, I can set up a another... Ooh, let's put in a Xeno box here, because I can, because I've got lots of those. So put in one of these, a Xeno chest. Or Xeno, whatever, however we want to pronounce it. And we'll have another belt for the charged crystals, because you never know, I might need lots of them. And then I can put in a chunk of foundation like that. And then... Box. Box goes there. Belt goes there. Weird tree thing goes pop, like that. And I go, oops, I didn't mean to dig that hole there. We'll fill it back in again. There we go. Isn't that lovely? Right, and I want to put everything in this box, pretty much. So we're going to want to have all the types of inserters. So we'll have one of those, and one of those. And you're going to be an intake like that. Actually, I'm going to set both of these to be exerters. I'm going to set that to be an exerter for the moment because I want to read from this box and use that to determine how much I put in of each of these things. Yeah, that's true. I might as well fill in the other pipe hole. Yeah. Otherwise, you're right. I will just fall into it at some point if I don't. Right. Do I still have cable in my pockets? I've been doing quite a bit with it recently, so I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't see any, and I also don't remember what it's called. So I'm going to guess that because it fills up your inventory quite a bit, I'm going to guess that I probably got rid of it and put it back into its box all the way over here, which is this box. Yes, there we go. 139 data cable. So if I fly back over here once again and I go, I would like to have some data cable, then I can plug it into that, and I can plug it into those, and then I can go bloop bloop, and there we go. That's all linked together. So this is going to now read out through the data connection there. These guys, how do I configure it? Oh, it's with the it's with this, isn't it? Alt click, right? You enable based on what are you doing? You're doing the xenoscrap. Xeno is spelled with an X. Xenoscrap, that one. Is less, if xenoscrap is less than a constant of 200, then I want you to run. That did so, yes it did, good. Make it so. Right, so that will now run until there's 200 xenoscrap in here. Next up is going to be the xenocrystals. So I want you to enable if, still called Xeno, isn't it? Xenocrystal, yes, that bunny is less than, and we'll say 200 here as well because 200 is a number and it seems like a reasonable one. 200, like that, that'll easily fit in the box. And then finally, I am trapped under something. There we go. I haven't put the belt in yet, so it's not going to work, but that's okay. Then you are going to enable based on charge xenocrystal, which is that one, being less than 200 as well. Actually, I'm going to make that one 500 because all the other ones, if I need more, I can just grab them off the belts here. But that one, they need to actually be processed and made in this large machine here. So I'm going to need to put in more belt like that, and oh no, I was going to say bother, but no, it's actually okay. I'm going to also want to put in one of these here as an exerter. Boop. And then out come the charged ones, and they just flow, at the moment, they just flow straight into here, which is going to keep stockpiling until we've got 200, 200, and 500. So it's going to take a little while. We've got to 90 so far, which is a start, but it's going to take a little while, but we'll get there eventually. The theory is then that I can, if I need them over here, I can probably pull them out using the Xeno chest if I want, or I can just nip over there and grab them. These ones, all this stuff, I suppose, might as well go back into the machine over there, but I currently don't really have the room in my inventory for that. Oh, actually, yes I do. There we go, take all of that. Can I pick the crate up as well? Nope. Alright, so let's come back over here then. And open the container, and I want to put all this Xeno nonsense into the container like so. And you as well. Right, okay, so we now have a stockpile in here that I can come and raid whenever I need it. We've nearly got up to the 500 to get the new scanner, so that's quite good. We just need to make sure this machine keeps working. Are you... Fly, you fool! Are you still working? Yes, you are. It's just a little bit slow. That's fine. I don't mind it being slow because I can be somewhat patient. I'm not very good at patient, but I can be a little bit patient. I'm happy to wait for that to just generate all of the crystals I need and then grab them out of here and take them over, because there's quite a lot of other stuff to mess around with. What is that other stuff? That is a good question. So one of the things is going to be making the Xeno tower things for the other end of the Xeno logistics container systems. I think you're probably right. I think I probably will have the 500 now. Is there a way to read in Factorio or in Foundry? If you mean Foundry, well, you can plug stuff into you can plug the circuits into them. It might work. Let's have a look, because I'm curious now. You've made me wonder. Let's plug it into this thing here, and then boop. No, it doesn't look like it. You can either turn it on or off based on a condition of something going in, or you can pulse the signal out when it produces things. So I'm going to say no. I don't think so. You could probably. You could potentially pulse based on stuff being put into it and have that stored in a register somewhere, and then when anything is taken out, you could clear the register. That might work. So let's see. What I've not played with the circuit network in Foundry very much, but let's see. We have data value. We have a memory cell. So presumably, you could have all of the inserters pulse whenever they pick something up, and then whenever the machine puts something out, it resets the. And I wouldn't tell you the inventory of it though, because it loads up far more than it needs for one build. You'd need to pulse the output and have that be translated into a negative number of all the things you put into it, and pulse that into the memory cell. Which means you'd have to set it up separately for each recipe, I suspect, because there's no read recipe contents on these machines. So technically yes, but I feel like it would be enormously complicated. Yeah. Oh, and you wouldn't be able to tell whether the things in the inventory were. You wouldn't be able to tell whether the things in the inventory had been assembled into the end product yet or not. So it might not do quite what you wanted. Oh yeah, we've got 44 in there now, so it must have filled up. Right. Okay. So all right, let's take out the 500 of these, and then go and feed them in over here. I would like to be able to scan for power cores, proper power cores, the sort that aren't broken. Bing! There we go. And now I need to find one. Okay, in order to unlock this stuff. But in the meantime, there are other things I can do here. So I could have a thing that turns crystal into ore. I don't think I care about that. In fact, that seems not particularly useful, because I have infinite supplies of the ores and very, very slow infinite supplies of the crystals. So I don't think I care about that one. I'll probably unlock it for completeness sake at some point. You want to turn the assemblers off, or depending on whether the inventory is getting full. Okay. And they do stop running at a certain point. They won't run forever. So, for example, over here, we've got this machine has got up to 10 lava smelter 2s, and it has just stopped, even though I'm feeding in anything it could possibly want. But if you don't want to... So I would suggest maybe just not worrying too much about the amount of stuff you have stockpiled in the machines. It's not really answering your questions. I don't like giving a sort of a, have you tried doing it differently as an answer, because it's very, very unhelpful. But in this case, I might consider it, sorry. Okay, all this stuff requires me to find more damaged power cores. This requires me to find a functional power core, okay, and that'll be down in the lava caves. These require lots and lots and lots of the charged crystals. That's fine. I'm producing those. I'm not too worried about that. I'm probably not going to be able to unlock these until I've... Oh yeah. In fact, they're shaded out because I haven't unlocked the ones before. So I am going to need to go and find a lot of damaged power cores if I want to be able to unlock this tier of stuff. So I guess I'll have to go out and find some of those, which is mildly annoying, but not too bad really. The other question that I'm sort of slightly curious about is how is my crystal supply keeping up? And I can't really tell because, well, the belt is full all the way back to the elevator. I was going to say I suspect I'm using them up faster than they're being dug up, but I think they're being produced it was no more than 10 seconds between them coming out. I have a feeling it might have been 8 seconds. And this is using 20 a minute. So that's every 3 seconds. Oh, but we're limited by... That's not 20 a minute. Oh, unless it does several in each time it runs. Where's the Xeno everything? It's probably going to be in one of these things. That's decor. It's not decor. Oh, it might be a... No. It's not a... Oh, it could be an intermediate. That makes sense. No. Oh, here we go. Yes, there we go. Oh, yes, that does 10 at a time. So it takes... does 20 a minute of 20 at a time. So it actually does 2... Right, so yeah, it takes in 20 a minute, but it takes in bursts of them. So we'll see when this finishes, it'll suddenly take in 10, like that. Okay, so we are using 20 a minute. That's one every 3 seconds, and we are definitely making them more slowly than that. But we don't have any constant automated drain on the crystals coming out of from here. I'm just manually taking them out, bring them over here, and throwing them into the machine. So that's manual, which means it's kind of okay. I've got 124 of them somehow, which is interesting given they come in 10s. I guess I've got the rest of them in my... Nope, I haven't got the rest. Oh, yeah, I used some for something else. Okay, that's fine. So I guess I need to go down to... I need to fly back outside my known area, back into Terra Incognita, and then go start searching for some of those functional power cores. And also probably while I'm at it, some dysfunctional ones as well. So I would like to find... definitely Xeno power cores, yes, and scrap deposits and crystal deposits would be worth knowing about, so I'll keep my eyes out for those. I sort of want to get more damaged cores, but I think that's going to ruin my searching for everything else. So let's find out how many of those I need, and then turn it off once I get to that number. So over here, I'm going to need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 50. I need 15 broken cores, and then I'm done with everything on this level. And I can start finding other things instead. Right, okay. Can I get down to the tunnels from here? No, I can't. There is a way through this window here, up in the sky, and if I fall down the tunnel here, bonk, and then fall down the tunnel. No, it's not there. Is it round? There's a hole somewhere there. There it is. I should make that a bit more easy. No, a bit easier to find. Right. So this is where this. Right. So now if I follow this back, I can then. You know what? I will collect all of the things I need to make these proper mines of the for digging up all of the gubbinses resource gathering. These things. So I need steel, machinery parts, and circuit boards. Steel, machinery parts, and circuit boards. Right. Back up to the surface again. Where's the hole? There we go. This game is an endless sequence of me trying to find a suitable hole to fly into. There's the circuit boards. One thing I would like to do is start feeding all of my raw ingredients into a Xeno chest so that I can summon them from wherever I am whenever I need them. That is a thing that I've not done yet, but would sort of quite like to do, because then I only need to carry a Xeno tower around with me, and then in theory, when I forget a small quantity of something vital, I can just summon it and it'll all be brought to me. Where's steel? There's steel. Right, so that is enough to make... Okay, I was going to say I'll make another 2 of each of these, but I've run out of steel again already. And I'd like to have enough to make at least a couple more when I inevitably realise I've forgotten something. So I need 25 of those. I need 50 of those, which I've got. 50 advanced components, which I can't see. Oh, they're at the top there. Yes, I've got those. And 10 circuit boards, which I've got plenty of. Okay, so I've got 2 of each of those now. There we go. They're over here. And I've got the stuff with me to make 2 more of these sort of drills if I find lots of stuff. Okay, back to the tunnel. Right, you know what? I'm going to take this tunnel here. And I'm gonna make this better, because this is a silly faff at the moment. So I want to drop. Firstly, let's bring this belt round the tunnel so I can just drop into it without having to do silly beltery faffery. So I can go like that and that and that and go on there. There we go. And then from here, let's go straight up. Oh come on! It's just earth of some sort. How can I not have enough space in my inventory for a load of earth? There we go. Was it a particularly weird type of earth? Maybe. Oh no, I'm high enough. Right, and also I'm going to note that I am at minus 54, and I'm going to make a hole through from here at minus 54, which is here. Like this. And I'm going to go. Here is a convenient hole to drop into. Bonk. Okay, I've landed on that, but that's a shame. But then we can get all the way down to here. Right, that's slightly better. So, right, let's head off and keep an eye on the scanometron as I fly down this tunnel. Because this is going to tell me if there's any goodies to grab. And I have to go under that belt, I remember. So ideally, I'd like to find, I don't know, a couple of each, really. Because you notice neither of these belts are full, so we're clearly not backing up as much as I would like to be. But it's going to be a bit of a flight. I'm going to have to get to at least here before there's any chance of spotting anything. And then we've got a resource node there for the alien scrap. I'm going to find a lot of the large. I'm going to find a lot of the what do you call them? It's damaged. Oh, actual Xeno power core. Sweet. I was going to say I'm going to find loads and loads of the damaged power cores, but no, straight in with a proper Xeno power, a working power core. So that's right directly below me. I won't dig a hole right in the side, right in the floor of the tunnel. I will at least go off one to the side like this. I don't know how many of these I'm going to need. In fact, I wish I should have brought the Sciencematron machine with me, and then I could have scanned and found out what I was going to need after this, but oh well. 27, 26, 25, 23, 22, 21, 20... Thank you, Regular. As I've found in the past that when I go down into these sort of holes, I tend to lose my way a bit. Okay, well, we're... Oh, it's still 13 away somehow. Okay. Am I down at the lava level? No, I'm not down at the lava level yet. So, okay, we'll dig a bit of a tunnel. And we'll go through here, and hopefully we'll find it. Still 9 away. 7, 6, 5, 4... 3, 2. They're in the walls. Hello. Pick up. Oh, not enough space in inventory. Goodness sake. What have I got that I don't need? I don't need a couple of iron plates. Destroy those. I don't need a couple of copper rods. Destroy those. I do want to hang on to the steel. I don't care about tundra dirt. That's a nonsense dirt. The iron, I don't care about conveyor slopes. That's just a little bit of iron. Those can go, and same with balancers, to be honest. Get rid of the red stuff. I'm not going to call it useless, but I'm not going to use it. Bing! 1 Xeno power core. Right. So, do I get another one? Or do I just go, right, that was nice, let's go back and go back for sort of tea and medals. I think let's get another one, because I'm bound to need some more to unlock the next stage of unlocks. I can just feel it. It's how this game works so far. So let's at least get a second one, and maybe I can unlock a new toy with that. I'm surprised I've not seen any broken power cores yet, actually. They're fairly common, so I was expecting just to be forever detecting those, which is why I was saying, right, well, I'll go out until I get 15 of them, and then I'll turn off the sensor for picking those up, and we'll try and find something else. Exactly. If it's within scanning range and I'm already down here, it's not going to take me that long to get through to it. Take me even less time if I used explosives, actually. Actually, that's not true. It would take me more time, but it would be more entertaining. This is fairly hard rock, which is why it's taking me my laser a little while to cut through it, even in 1x1 high power mode. Here. That's not straight through a wall. Oh, there it is. I see it. Mine. This one's 63 away. That's a bit further. Which way did my last tunnel go? Yeah, it does go off in the right direction, though. Still 50 odd something away. Yeah. Hang on a minute. Use the robots, Laurence. That's what they're for. Switch over to this mode. Say, hello, I would like a tunnel that goes from here to infinity and beyond, like that. Height of 2. There we go. That's how you cut through a mountain like a hot knife through butter. Yeah, much better. Yes, you're quite right, regular. Yeah, that'd be much easier. Right, another 20, please. 20-ish. It's almost like I can just run through walls when I do this. Oh, I missed it. Oh, I've done that wrong. Oh well. I need to go 10. Stop being 2 by. La 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 la. There it is. Yoink. Only 18. Yeah, okay. There's quite a lot of them. They're not actually that hard to find. These are much easier than I was expecting. Especially given how long it took me to find one of those infinite crystal things. I had to go blooming miles for that. That was ridiculous. Yeah, I feel like I spent basically most of the stream just digging a long tunnel off into the far distance in an attempt to find an infinite crystal spawner. And I eventually did, but it took forever. What? 2, 1. Distance. It must be through this wall then. There it is. Yoink. 35. And this is one of those things that could go on forever, where I just go, oh, there's another one. It's only 35 away. I'll go and get it as well. And then, oh, there's another one. It's only 30 away. I'll go and get that one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Ad infinitum. But you know, I do feel like I'm going to probably need a couple of dozen of these, maybe, to unlock all of the researchers that are going to pop up. There it is. There's another one. Again, it's 35 away, which isn't actually all that far. Especially now, I've stopped being an idiot and have started using these things to do the bots to do the drilling for me. It's slightly fiddly to get them to tell them where you want them to go, but once they start going, they're really good. I am, of course, making a maze under here, which is not ideal for when I want to try and find my way back out again. Yoink. Right, I think that's enough. Let's head back and find out what these things are actually good for. Say it again, y'all. And yeah, have a... No, I think it's still this way. No, I could of course just go straight up and mine a new hole out, but where's the fun in that? It's more fun to try and navigate the maze that I left. This looks promising. There we go. Yes, hopefully the bots won't start an onion. I mean union. That would be very unfortunate. Yeah, see, there is occasional scrap flowing along here. Okay, let's turn the scanometron back off the Xeno power cores for the time being. I'm mostly interested in... I am kind of interested in damaged cores, although... Have I... Okay. I was going to say maybe I've already plundered this area, but I'm not sure. I might just have to go a bit further out. And the scrap deposits and the crystal deposits I definitely want to find if there are any of them. In fact, I do know where there is one. There's one sort of a couple of miles down... Oh, down the tunnel that blue belt, the belt with the crystals on, came out of. So I could go down there and put in another scrap mine. In fact, where am I at the moment? It's all the way out here. here, which is here, which is quite a long way. So I think right now I can't be bothered. When I discover I'm short of scrap, which is probably going to happen in the not too distant future, when I discover that I'm actually short of scrap, then I'll go and get some more. But for the moment, scrap is fine. I don't need to go off trying to find any more of it, so I'm not going to yet. Right, and then back to here, and there is an exit. Here it is. Shoom. Yeah, the maze was pretty amazing. Usually need 1% more than that build. Yeah, that's probably true. There it is. Landed on the wrong side of it because I wasn't paying attention. Too busy looking at chat to look at where I was flying. Right, have a Xeno power core. Analyze, analyze, analyze. Nom 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 nom. Yeah, being able to... Shush you. Being able to outsource the menial work is very, very nice. I definitely appreciate that option. Right, so now we have a... Oh, we can now manufacture them. So I don't need to... So, okay, but I needed another 5 in order to do that. How many do I have? And then we can get... And we can get stuff we've already got, more crafting speed, more mining drones, more land. Okay, so it's just more of the same at this point. But, you know, for the sake of completeness, I do want to have all of this. And I have 5 of them, so I got exactly the right number. That is amazing. So yes, we'll take that. Thank you very much. And then we'll try and work out what we need to build them. Probably find, if we find it's that you need the broken cores in order to make the functional cores, I will be very, very upset. Let's have a look. So, making the Xenos stuff. It's going to be an intermediate, a component, isn't it, actually? Yeah, there we go. Super alloy. Okay, no, that's all right, actually. It just takes in super alloy, which I haven't made yet, but I have no reason to believe that I can't. So we take in super alloy, we take in Xeno scrap, charged xenocrystals, and rubber. We've got all those things. Excellent. Yes, exactly. So, how do I make a super alloy? It's probably going to be a metallurgy, isn't it? So here we go. Super alloy is made from molten super alloy, which is made from thermalite, telexite, and coked ignium. Right, okay. Telexite ingots. That's a problem. Because I have, somewhere in the distance over there, I am producing telexite, and then from there, I'm shipping it off as telexite wafers, not as telexite ingots. So I'm going to need to run another belt from over there with a load of ingots on it. And that's not a serious problem, it's just another thing that I'm going to have to do, that's fine. We have thermalite being brought down in quantity by these from here. You can see there's a blue belt of it coming out of here, and occasionally we use a little burst of it. That's not a problem. What else did it need? Coked ignium, that's not a problem. We know how to make that, and it's made in an arc furnace. Okay. Arc furnaces are enormous, I remember that. Well, they're not enormous on the scale of things like the blast furnace, but they're enormous on the scale of all of the machinery that I've got in this area. So, how do I want to do this? Well, my supply of ignium comes out over here, so I could put in a coking plant. We could do the koki around here. And, oh, it's not coming in fast enough. Interesting. I might need to do some upgrade. That's a problem. Okay, we need to bring in more ignium, but well, I'll deal with that in a second. So, we can coke some of it over here to be coked, and then I can put in an arc furnace. We can bring over the thermalite can probably be brought over. Well, I mean, if the thermalite can be brought from over here, that's not going to be too difficult. We just need to, I don't know, either have another underground belt or have an overground belt, or just, yeah, I'll probably bring it up and then have it come over the top of some of these belts that are providing resources anyway. It can then come over to here, around the other side of this thing, and then over there. That's okay. And then the telexite ingots, I guess, well, I'll bring them in from over there. Not too much of a problem. It just needs to all be set up. So I feel like a good starting point would be with this ignium, because this is not sufficient. I'm going to need to head off and fiddle with this until it's okay. I'm pretty sure I've got enough thermalite, and the telexite will probably be all right. It's the igneous, the coal that I'm currently worried about. So I'm going to need to find the bottom of that and then run another massively long green belt. So let us get some more large quantities of green belts. So you, yes, I would like to have, I'd like to throw away some of the trash that I'm carrying around with me, like rubber. Burn the rubber. I don't know what to, let's go and put the quarry in a box somewhere, because I don't see the use for it. So I just want to get rid of it. Not you, ideally. What are you? You are, okay, no, you're useful stuff. You are a box of miscellaneous... Ooh, is that an arc furnace? Yes, that's an arc furnace. I'm going to need one of those. Let's set up 2, because why not? You can then have... I'll hang on to these 2 for now until I start to have storage problems. You can have that, certainly. I think I'll give it the ore vein miners for the time being as well, because I don't think I'm going to need them for a little while. Ooh, no, actually, no, I'm going to take those in case I go over to the other end and I find out the reason I don't have any ignium is because I'm not digging it up fast enough. Assembly line stuff, yeah, okay, you can have that. Advanced smelters, casting machine, chemical processes, all this is kind of useful. I'll get rid of those yellow belts and those yellow splitters. And I'll put the data cable back into here. That's data cable, that's you. We'll chuck away the biomass because I can always get more of that very, very easily. We'll chuck away the batteries even though that feels wasteful because they're relatively expensive. There we go, that's my inventory a little bit tidier. Now I can pick up some belts. Especially as I'm going to come over here and go, are you making greens? No, you're making yellows. Next level, over here, I can say, have my yellow ramps. And I can say to you, have my yellow splitters. Right, and then I can come back over to here and go, gimme. And that's like 2,000 of them, so that's going to keep me going for a little while. I do still want to build another one of these gubbinses. Now, to be fair, I don't need one there, so let's steal that one for now. Because that will allow me to magically What? I got a lot of stuff out of that I wasn't expecting to get. I don't really understand why. Unless it was stockpiling some of this stuff to pass it over to me? Curiouser and curiouser, said Alice. Right, so we'll leave that for now. We'll go back down the little tunnel guy over here. And... So, yeah, this is the problem. We currently have one green belt of coal being brought in. Now, actually, we could just be sort of a little bit dirty with this and go... I mean, coal is dirty, so that seems appropriate. And just go upgrade a little bit of it and steal from one of these belts. Steal from this top belt, because that's not going anywhere. That seems like a good idea. So, how about... This one is being used. So, how about I take out some chunks of that and then put in a ramp here like that to keep that one happy. Then I pull out some chunks along here like so. Then dig a hole in the wall like this. And this. And then pick up that and that. And then, you see where I'm going with this? I can put a splitter there. And dig out some more wall here because I haven't left enough space. Boom, like that. Then I can put in a down ramp like that. And that goes up to the right level. Take out that and that. And that. And then you can go in. No, not like that. Like that. There we go. So that's feeding down into there. Actually, this should have been a blue one. And then I want to upgrade this to blue as well. And then boom, just like that, I've doubled the amount of coal that's being put into that system. That was a lot easier than it had any right to be, so I'm quite happy with that. Suddenly we've got twice as much coal pouring in there. We should be okay because now we've got a blue belt going in the form of a two green belts that are then combined. We've got a blue belt being taken out at the other end, but I think it's not a full blue belt. So, well, I hope it's not a full blue belt. So we'll give that a little bit of time to fill up, and then we'll come back and see how it's getting on. Right, so that's that step. No, I want to be here. Go up here. Right. So, that's step one. The coal is now available. Next is the... Let's do the thermalite next, because, again, that's easy and all right over here. So, over here, we would like to have, coming out of here, we've got 4 outputs, so that's really nice. I'm just going to use a green belt for the time being. So we'll have this come out of here like this, all the way over here, and then go, to about here, then up to, so it takes it above this steel belt, lock it there, over here. Okay. This is fun. How much do I have to go up to get this? That's going to hit that one. That's going to hit the pipe, but it can go over the pipe and then immediately go into the pylon on the other side of it. Lovely. Okay, well, we're already circumnavigating the pylon, so that's sort of okay. So we'll come round it like this and then off this way. But at this point, can we go down a little bit? How far down can we go before we start to have problems? About this far. Okay. So we'll bring it through over here, above the iron, and then we'll just keep going. Under that steel, that's convenient. I'm going to lock there because I have lost track of how far I've gone. Yes, now I want to just go past this machine here. So we'll bring this to here, and then once I've worked out where I want to put the actual arc furnaces, then we can put something in. Then we can put this in. Then we can finish this belt off. So we should get some thermalite plates coming. Oh, wait a minute! No! This is all wrong. This isn't thermalite plates. This is thermalite bars. Stop that. That's all wrong. Thermalite plates come out of here and are already being taken this way to go onto the bus. So actually I want to go from here. I don't need any of this. That's annoying. Can I do that safely? Yes. I hope that my thermalite squashing is sufficient to keep up with this, because we have we have a significant fraction of a blue belt going in, and so we probably have this. Well, we have the same fraction of a blue belt coming out again, split a bajillion different ways, sure, but it is coming back out again. So let's upgrade you all the way to here, where I need to upgrade that, and that, and that, and then this is going to be some spaghetti. Might be able to punch it through that gap there. That could work. So from there, go forwards. Right, I want you to go up to, then across to, yes, here. Okay, yeah, that works. Then up another one. Well, up and over. There we go, like that. Yes, good. What are you hitting over there? What are you hitting? Is that part of the pylon? Oh, it's part of the pylon. Okay, what if we come over this way? Yeah, that works. Go straight into that, of course, but that doesn't actually need to be... Well, it doesn't need to be anywhere anymore, because I've got the big transmitter guy. And then we can feed you onto there when we remove all of this. Hopefully I have the... What if I just... Okay, maybe I didn't. Hopefully I have the inventory space to pick up all this thermalite. I do seem to. Oh, bother. I was trying not to do that. There we go. And then... Right, and now I'm ripping up a steel belt, so put that back in again. Right, okay, so we've now fixed my previous mistake, and we now have a supply of thermalite coming over here, and then it will eventually come over here once Muggins here comes along here and grabs all of these thermalite bars off it. Hey Julian, no, I've only played with trains for about a couple of hours in that stream you've seen, and I basically, because they weren't properly functional yet, and if I'd carried on with them trying to use them in the same game, then I would have eventually I wouldn't have been put these in there. Why can't I put those in there? If I carried on playing with them, then I would have eventually had to abandon the game that I was playing and go back to because I wouldn't have been able to save it. So I didn't get all that far with that one. I played around with them a bit, and I found there were a couple of things that didn't work, and then I went back to my normal save. Once they get finished, then I will start using trains for a lot of my long resource runs. So yeah, it was fun to experiment with them, but that's all they were good for at this point. So for example, I'll bring iron and concrete from over here to over here, and then I'll bring the coal from down here up to everywhere it's needed, and copper from here, and so on and so on. So I will eventually set up all of these things to be on train systems, but at the moment the trains are not. For one thing, they're basically free to build, so there's a bit of a balance problem there. And for another, they don't work. So I submitted lots of bug reports, and we'll just let the devs get on with it. And once they've finished them, or once they've got them to a state where they actually work properly and they can put them into the game, then I'll start playing with them. Then I'll give them another go and see how I get on, see how things go with them. But yeah, I'm absolutely looking forward to playing with them. I just don't. They just aren't in a fit state yet for them to be used. Yeah, and I kept every time I set up a remotely complicated route for a train to follow, it would crash as soon as it passed a signal. So I gave up on that. But hopefully they'll see the feedback I left and upgrade and fix it up, finish it off, and then we'll have trains in. So I mean, I'm not wanting to be negative or malign them or anything about because the trains didn't work, because I'm very aware the game is early access. The trains themselves are even earlier than early access. They were just very, very experimental. So that's okay. I don't want to feel like I'm criticizing them that the trains didn't work. I just want to say that the trains weren't ready for me to start playing with them, so I didn't. I had a quick play and then went back to doing to my normal game. How many fracking towers? Let's see. There's one here. There's one on my iron patch, one on my copper patch, one on coal patch. I don't think I've got a stone patch with one yet. Yeah, I think it's 4. One here for telexite, one here for iron, one down here for coal, one here for copper. There is a stone patch out here that I'm eventually probably going to have to go to, but I haven't yet because it's a long way and I just can't be bothered. I'd like there to be trains in ideally before I go off to that one. So yeah, looks like 4 fracking towers so far. I haven't needed more than 1 vein for anything yet, although... Oh wait, hang on, did I put in a second copper tower? No, I put in a second copper blast furnace, that was it. Here. There's still only the 1 copper ore vein over there that I've tapped. I haven't needed a second vein of anything yet. Yes, the trains just prove that I'm tougher than the trains are. Yeah. Which isn't what we expect, from our experience of Factorio. Right, so these are the ingots, I believe. Yep. Yes, telexite ingots, that's what I need. Let's just sanity check that. Yes, telexite ingots, right. These guys, the output from these machines, in fact, and what is on this belt, is what I need to take over to the main factory. So I already have this belt carrying the wafers that goes down a shaft over here and disappears off. There is a tunnel that goes off back to the main factory that way. This is a slightly different route from some of the other ones, though. Because it's a bit higher up. This was my first tunnel before I sort of standardised a little bit. And so this goes down to here. But actually that's fine because we could break off from that tunnel here and pop up over here and be in the right place for everything else I'm trying to do. So, okay, yeah, I'm fine with running the telexite ingots down this belt as well. 2020 hindsight, I would have produced the telexite ingots and run them down to the factory and then had this machine over there making the wafers. But never mind. Doesn't matter. We can have 2 belts running along here. So firstly, let's just upgrade that belt because it's silly if one part of it is a high tier and the other isn't. Then we'll run this out this way. I will leave a significant gap in case I need another arc furnace, because you never know. So we'll come to here. Then we'll go down 1. Then we'll go over this way. Then we'll think about what we've done, or what we're about to do. Because I'm going to need to set up another one of these spiralometrons. And there isn't really room. Well, I mean, there is, but it's going to be a little bit fiddly. So let's start off the same. So I'll knock out a couple of pieces of earth there. Then we can put in some down ramps that go from... Actually, you know what? Let's go a little bit more shooty, holy. Oh, thanks for the resub, Matimus. Much appreciated. Good to have you around. How long's that been for? 5 months. Nice. Thank you very much. Great to have you here. Right, so we can run this... No, we can now run this to the corner and then down, and then down. And it'll get to there. Oh, I can go down. In fact, you know what? I might just be able to go all the way down straight into the tunnel like this. Which is kind of ridiculous and not how we normally do, and not the sort of spiral I was expecting. But if I'm going to have a tunnel this big, oh, why not? Just run down here, all the way down to the ground. Boom! No need for a spiral. Okay, so now I can take this take this belt, run it all the way along here. And last time I was playing, someone told me that if you put in a tagged point like that, you can just make the whole thing in one go. You don't need to keep stopping and starting your belt. So I can just keep doing this. Shame I don't have a couple more hands, but never mind. No, sorry, shame my keyboard can't detect a couple more keystrokes, because if I'm pressing Shift and W to fly forwards as fast as I can, then it doesn't detect an R when I press R. So I have to do that one separately. No, don't do a Q. Don't do an E as well. Stay down. Right, so we'll come along this far, and then where have I got to? Oh, this is about... No, a little bit. I want to go a little bit further. What is going on in this hole, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, I see. That's the main route the fracking juice is supposed to... That's my main tunnels down there. So we've got the fracking juice coming in from there and then being pumped... Well, it was originally being pumped off to Telexite frack, and now it's being sent down there to go off to every single other fracking tower in the fracking game. So I guess we'll just go round the hole, as is the nice, neat thing to do. So we'll bring it along to here, back in again, and then just carry on. This is fine. And then I'll press M again and go, where am I? Right, okay, this is about where I want to be. So stop making the belt there. Try again. Belt to there, is that about right? Yeah, that's about right. And I now need to go through that wall, so we need another tunnel. So let's get out the Zappamatron. And I'm going to build a 3x3 because why not? Actually, let's make it for the full... Alright, we've made it 4 high because I misclicked. Fine, be like that. I don't... See if I care. Oh, and just like that, we found another tunnel. That's fine. We can get past that pipe of... What are you a pipe of? Low density olumite. What is this for? Oh, this is stuff being sent over to the science area. So we already have thermalite sheets down here. I could have pulled them off this belt. Maybe I should. That might be neater. Then we'd have 2 of our resources pop up out of the ground over here. But I have already put the belt in place. So on the other hand, maybe not. No, the freight elevator has a top and a bottom. It cannot have middles, which has annoyed me a little bit a couple of times, because there have been a few times when I've wanted to have it drop off at pull in at one, or pull in or drop off at multiple levels. But no, you can't do that. If you want to do that, you'll need to split it into multiple elevators. So you can have one that goes from the bottom to the middle, and then another one that goes from middle to and then another one that goes from middle to top, and also take it out from middle and send it off to wherever you want it to go. But you can't do you can't have a freight elevator with multiple stops. Which I agree is a little bit of a shame, but never mind. I'd also quite like it if there was a little sort of 1 level mini elevator, or maybe 2, maybe 5 level mini elevator. So you don't need to, when you're setting up a little construction area, you don't need to put in one of those wiggly spiral ramp belt things that always feel like a bit of a mess. But also on the flip side, I can sort of see a bit like the ones in Satisfactory, in fact. But I can also, on the other hand, sort of see why they don't want that, because it would make it a bit too easy to move stuff vertically, and I think they probably don't want that. Hey, a cave. It's a man-made cave. There used to be an iron patch in here, I think. Possibly a copper patch, but probably an iron patch. That probably, though, means, yes, I am about far enough. So let's remove all areas. There we go. Confirm. And now I'm going to need to bring the belt along here and then go upwards. So let's fly back to where the belt was coming from. I should be able to just punch straight through the middle of here. That doesn't look difficult. Actually, let's take out a couple of pieces like this, because then I can start from here and I can go up first, and then I can turn and go through here, and then we go down again. Then we go through. Actually, no, you know what? Let's not go down. Let's go up, and then go over the top of this pipe. And actually, I don't see any reason not to go along the top of this tunnel, actually. So we can go straight through to here. So like another fixed point there. And then, actually, I'm just going to go upwards as much as we can. So we can go up to there. Boom. And then we can just dig our way out from here. And I will use the little drill for this, because I don't think I need to go very far. Just like that. So I'd like to go from, please catch, there, up and, okay, not quite out. There's still a little bit more cleaning up to do. So I need to take out that one, which means I need to take out that, and then I run out of conveyor slopes. Great. Okay, well, I'll use some blue ones then. And we'd like these to be ups, please. There we go. And here, there should be telexite coming out. There isn't, but there should be. So let's go and get some more green ramps first while I think of it, because otherwise I will completely forget and just not. And then I can head off and go and work out why we don't have any telexite coming through. Are you splitters or ramps on the side? You are splitters. So over here, are you going to be green ramps? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Give me. Alright, so that's a lovely belt popping up out of the ground over here with absolutely nothing that I could possibly wish for. I will, while I'm here, I will extend this and put it in next to that one, because they're going to be working together. We need both the two resources from there. Right, let's go and find out why we don't have any telexite. So I'm going to fly back over to where the telexite is going in and go, what's going on over here? Can you help me? And then probably basically just follow the belt along until I find the break in it. Okay, so it is going in there. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Oh, I haven't linked. Oh, right. I see what happened. When I went down, when I told it to drop down to this level, it didn't. It did, but not in the way I wanted it to. But yeah, it tried to do it immediately rather than when it actually should. So we'll build that back to there. And then just like that, we'll get a flow of telexite coming through. Lovely. Yes, the big ramp into the belt spiral was very nice. I think it depends on what you're doing. Like over here, I think a spiral is probably appropriate, because that might want to wind its way down an arbitrary depth of hole. Although if the hole is particularly deep, then a spiral is going to get a little bit silly, and to be honest, it's probably worth using an elevator. However, yes, you're quite right. For when you're putting it on the side of a build, when you're going multi-story with a build, I agree. Having a ramp is significantly better. Is it that? No, it's that one, I think. Or that? No, it's that one. Actually, it's both of these two. Those are both new expansions I made last week because I was running out of things. Yes, having instead of trying to feed your ingredients along a belt like this, up a spiral and then back along the next level, it's much nicer to have the belt go along like this, loop around, go up as a big diagonal, and then feed in from the same end over there. It also makes the copy pasting easier, because you don't need to change the direction of every other belt system. So this is much nicer. What does a fracking tower do? Right. So in this game, you have the normal resource patches. So when you look on the map, they are. Are there any left? They're these rectangles. Here's a xenoferrite ore patch. So you can go out to that, you can put mining drills around it, you dig it up, eventually it'll run out. Alternatively, you have these things, the hexagonal land, hexagonal resource patches, and these are ore veins. And so you can go out to those and you can put the vein mining drills into those, and they will drill a hole into this ore vein until they've got a certain amount of it out, and then they'll stop and they'll run out. They'll apparently run out as well. They'll stop. They are also limited. But if you then put a fracking tower on top of an ore vein and feed it fracking liquid, then you can get infinite resources out of one of these things. The rate is slightly limited by the number of drills you can get into it. I think it's something like what was it? It's about five or I think it's about 6 per level, and there's 3 levels, so you can get about 18 drills into one of the 17 into this one apparently. It actually tells you on the tooltip. That's handy. So 17 in that one. This one down here that I've tapped is 16, so that's a slightly smaller one. The coal one I've got down here is only 13, so this is again a much stingier one. But you can go and you can put in your drills around the edge of it like this, and then you'll get a steady flow out that will never run out as long as you keep feeding the fracking fluid into the fracking tower on the top of the fracking ore vein. Copy paste is a mod. However, I've heard rumours that the author of the mod has been hired or maybe taken on as a consultant. I don't know exactly, but I've heard rumours that the person who produced the mod impressed the devs so much that that mod is going to become part of the base game. So a bit like space exploration in Factorio in a way. So yeah, eventually it will become. That was louder than I expected. Eventually, I expect it to become part of the base game, but at the moment it's a mod called the Duplicationeer, I think, or something like that. It's a very, very good mod. I strongly recommend having it because I'm not going to say it's vital, but the game is much, much better for it. I strongly recommend it. No problems, I love. Happy to help. It's kind of part of what streaming is about, I think, is that, yeah, it is that people will ask interesting questions and you get an opportunity to answer them and tell them how things work in the game and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm always very happy to answer questions like that. Either one, actually, but either the fracking system or the copy paste mod. I don't know how big this needs to be. I remember the arc furnaces being massive. I don't remember exactly how massive, and I'm too busy digging this hole to put one in to actually go and look it up. And I've just got to the point of going, why am I doing this by hand rather than making my robots do it? But never mind, it's too late now. So let's just fill this hole up with foundation because that's why I dug it in the first place. There we go. Right, so I'm going to put down a doobry furnace, arc furnace. That's I'm sure I picked up 2 arc furnaces. I did. They're just under E for electric arc furnace. Okay. How big are you? Like I said, they're kind of sizable. So I'm going to put one of them here. Boink, like that. Right. It has no power. Does it take high voltage or low voltage? Low voltage, interestingly. Okay. Well, there's probably, yes, there's foundation there. So if I switch back to the lasermatron and take it down to a 1x1, then I can run a little trench across here. Oops. And I reckon in this particular instance, that was quicker than doing it by the mining bots would have been. So there we go, that goes through there, and you know what, let's repair the hole I made like that. So there we go, should now have power. Yes, it does. I can configure this guy, and I wanted to make super alloy. That'll be fun, won't it? So we bring in the thermalite and the telexite and the cotignium like that. There we go. Fracking should have a downside, and maybe that's the sort of thing that will eventually get added in the future. Remember, the game is still early access. It has a cost in that you have to keep making fracking fluid, and fracking fluid is produced from the one non-infinite resource in the game, which is the oil. So it has a cost, even if that cost is not particularly significant. Stop being an output, for goodness sake. There we go. But yeah, I understand what you mean. It does feel a little bit too easy to get these infinite patches. Now, maybe in the future, in a longer term version of the game, you'd find that you start to run out. You'd have to go out and get more patches. A bit like in Satisfactory, the game that must not be mentioned. The patches are infinite, but the limiting factor of them is the rate you can get the resource out from them. So that is very much the case. I suspect my copper and... Let's actually not go down like that. I suspect my copper and coal patches might run out in the not too distant future. And by run out, I mean have insufficient capacity for what I'm trying to do with them. So I do think I think there's a chance of that happening. It's just still some way off. We can only hope so, Boardies, yes. Now, maybe it does, and that's why it has to be confined to a pipe to make sure it doesn't escape. Right, so bring you along there, and then in there, extra piece, and along. Come on, there and there, and you know what? I didn't check how much coke I'm going to need. So, Koki, who do the Koki? We need 40 a minute. Okay, so if I put in one advanced Dubry what's it? Coking is done just in an advanced smelter. That's fine. And then we've got the 7.5 per second. I have no idea how that relates to 40 per minute. So I guess we'll just set up a machine and we'll look at its numbers and then we'll see how we go from there. So these are, I believe, 3x3 machines. So switch over to this. That means I need a 5x5 hole in the ground. We'll do it. I mean, it doesn't actually. It means I need a 5x3. But if I make it a bit bigger, then I can put more in later when I inevitably discover I need them. So fill that with foundation. Boop, like that. And then advanced smelters go in here. Let's put in one and see what it thinks. See what it would like to tell. See what it would like to tell me about its production rate. Boink. Boink. Tell me your thoughts. Excuse me? You need to crush it first, Laurence. Right, okay. Right, okay. Yeah, that takes in the ignium ore, not the ignium ore rubble. So let's get that right. Ignium ore is made from ignium ore rubble. Fine, we know that. In a Crusher 2, it takes 0.75 of a second to make it. To make one of it. So if we then go along to... Was it components? Yes, it was, down here. Odd place for it, but never mind. It takes in 2, so that's... 1.5 seconds worth. And it needs that every 7.5 seconds. So one crusher can feed 1/2, 3, 6. So one crusher can feed 5 cokers. Okay, I think that's probably going to be fine. So we'll get rid of that and that. And you know what? Let's just put it in here. Boom, like that. And I probably have a crusher in my pocket. It says, yes, I do. So we'll put you there. We would like you to crush the ignium. Like that. And that means I'm going to need... bother. I'm going to need one of these here, like that. And then I can't just stick it straight up back out. You know what? Sod it. Over here, we're going to bring it out with a medium inserter like that. We're going to need a little bit more foundation. That's not a problem. I can get pum. Put some foundation in there like that. And then feed this along here. And then this entire belt is actually going to be an output belt. It's fine. We'll sort that out. So then I'll do copy paste in a moment. Right, so this is going to be an output belt. So this does actually want to be quite long, which is nice because it is quite long. Give me all that. And then we run this along from here. I'm going to put in 3 machines for the time being. Come on, go the other way. There we go. 1, 2, 3. That all looks to be fine. Yep, that's working now. Okay, so now I can copy paste it. I would like to copy from there to wherever. Copy and place. And I would like to have 3, please. And paste. Boop. There we go. That was really easy. So now we should get a flow of... There we go. Here comes the coke. We're doing the Koki. Is that going to be enough? We shall see. Bad rock. Don't be in the way. So I'm going to bring this one in. I'm going to bring it along in a straight line for a bit longer, over to here. And bring it over like this and then in here. And that leaves flexibility for whatever I end up building. So I could put in another one of these machines here, and if I want to put in a third one of these machines, then I can always run the belt down, loop it back. I can do whatever I need to do. Oh, I was going to check how many of these were making per minute once I got one of these up and running, wasn't I? So this is making 40 a minute. Oh, okay. So one of these is capable of feeding one of these. That's really good. We're going to have plenty. Well, it's going to be really easy to keep this satisfied to a sort of a single machine's worth. So we'll put that in there and then realise that actually we don't have any foundation and it's all going to go a bit wrong. But that's okay, we'll fix that. Fill that up, there we go. Hey Sophia, welcome. Right, and one of these, typically it's the one on the other end. I am very tempted to pull this machine up and just pull... Actually, no, this is okay, because then when I put a second one of these in, which I might as well, because, you know, why not? Let's make it twice as quickly, because I can. So you can go there. That means I just then whack a cross or I pull that back up again, and we go, yes, okay, we need foundation out to here. Let's do it with this one this time. Go from there to there. Why not? Wait, how deep was that? No. I didn't want to dig an enormously deep pit. I just wanted to dig out a level one deep trench. So I want to come out to here. Oh dear. Yes, and right. You can have a height upwards because that feels safer somehow. All right, we'll just. Oh no, we'll fly around over here and try and get all this dug up. Yeah, the galaxy thing is interesting. I mean, it's nice because it provides a resource sink for you and an effort sink, and it's a reason to build all the stuff you're building, even when you run out of researches to do. And it means you can then sort of show off how good your factory is by telling people that yes, you're making 2 million profit a day or whatever it is you're making. So it's quite nice from that point of view. But it is also a sort of a. It does feel a bit out of place to me. That's all I'm going to say about it. I don't dislike it. I just feel that it's a little bit. It feels weird and not really connected to the rest of the game. I think that's my sort of opinion on it. Right. So extend you. Insert. Whoop. And where's there some foundation? There's some foundation. Insert. And oh yes, you need configuring. Super alloy again. There we go. No telexite. Is that because we don't? It's because that's bloody right. You stop doing that. Go back to default mode so you don't. So stop putting them in exerter mode right by mistake. There we go. Right. Yeah, I feel like the factory's not order laser, thank you. Station management, there we go. I feel like if we go into finances and compare to the competition, I think this is a bit ridiculous. These numbers are okay. It's nice to see that there are massive companies who are far bigger than you, but this one has a weekly earnings of literally 13 times mine, and my factory is fairly chunky already, so it seems a little unreasonable to go up to here. And also on a similar note, the sheer size of the galaxy map just makes me look at it and go, what are you even intended to go out to all of these places? I think you're probably not. I think it's just meant to be it is really big, so you will never run out type scale of star map, which is kind of okay actually. It's probably a good thing that way. But what I do wish they'd do is have is on the finances tab. I think the competitors, it should feel realistic to get past some of them. So by this point, where I'm in quite late game, I think it would be nice if I was, I don't know, maybe only a third of the way up the leaderboard, but certainly not still at the bottom. Now, I have to admit, I'm not that far off getting bumped up onto the next chunk by market dominance. I'm way off on the weekly earnings. Can we sort by that? We can. Yeah, I'm way off on the weekly earnings, and I'm way, way, way off on the lifetime earnings. But if these numbers aren't going up, then I suppose eventually I get there. But they probably are. They're probably going up by the weekly total every week. But it's interesting to note that on the market dominance column, I am actually fairly close to overtaking Nexus. So I only need to go up another 10%, and I'll be ahead of. Well, I'm just over 10%, and I'll be ahead of them. So actually, yeah, that would be very, very satisfying. But it would be nice if I had already overtaken a few of them by this point, I think. Yes, the bot's feelings are far too deep to cope with one such as me. Put that away. And we've run out of teloxide. Yay! Well, it was basically inevitable, wasn't it? It's all going into this machine here. So, we're now going to be making awesome alloy, liquid awesome alloy. That's good. That's what we want. So I'm going to need to pull some of that out and then do something with it. So, what am I going to do with it? Well, at the moment, we are making metallurgy. We are making it, and then we turn it into... Oh, it just goes into a normal casting machine. And... fine, that seems fairly straightforward. So let's put down a casting machine and then see how far we need to expand. And I'm going to do that just here because why not? I've got plenty of room. Let's just carry on building. So a casting machine is about 5 wide? I think they might be. So I'll leave a bit of space for it as well. So no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And another inserter. So let's go from there. So I want to pull up all of that to a height of, yeah, sure, go upwards rather than downwards. That is an actual number. Right, pull up a load of this, and while we're doing that, I'm just going to foundation this entire area because I might as well. It's a build area. I want machines to be able to work in it. That's sort of the point. And all the way over to there as well. Right, okay, that's probably sufficient. Have we dug up all of the stuff underneath there? We have now. I don't know if we had before, so let's make sure by going from there to there. Okay, right, so we've now got room for some casting machines. So now I can go in here, I can go get casting machine, that's you. And you take fluid in on either end. Actually, I could put them this way around. Yeah, I've left loads of room, so let's put them in this way around. Boom, like that. I don't like this rock. It's offending my sensibilities. It is not a nice boulder. Right, and you are going to make super alloy. Right, okay, so you take in 1,000 a minute, okay, and you make 12,000 a minute. No, 4,000 a minute. Okay, so each one of these requires 4 of these. That's quite nicely scaled. They'll be fairly balanced on, well, on scale, on size. So we're going to take a pipe out of here. I probably have lots of pipe. I have lots of pipe. Excellent. This is going to be a T-piece. It's going to be there like that. Then we're going to go magic pipe drag. And we're going to come out to here. Then we're going to go... Oh, it's the same height. That's convenient. That is much more convenient than I was expecting it to be. So we're going to put that in there like that. Right. And that is now going to make... That's it. That's all I need to do, probably. No, it's not, because the machine has decided to be dumb. This annoys me a bit, that you can't tell which inputs are going to be used for what until you put the machine down, and by then it's too late and it's really, really annoying. So this has to come back out again, and then we start again with a casting machine, like that, and we go, okay, you have your panel on the other side, so it's that way round. Put you there. Now we come over here, and we configure it, and we say super alloy, and there we go, now it's filling up, and boom, it's making a super alloy. Lovely. So at this point, we then run a belt along here, and we say, get your super alloy here, get it while it's super, or something like that. And I can put in an exerter like that. Well, I'll put in an asserter, an asserter, and then I turn it to be an exerter like that. There we go. And there's our super sandwich alloy. Delicious. And we're making 20 a minute of those, which is, yeah, certainly some. Too bad. Alright. Turns out you're producing the price sometimes. Yeah, I have been choosing what planets to go out to based on what robot types they require to an extent. Actually, I'm going to take out this pipe. I said I'm going to take out this pipe to make sure they are asking for ones that I actually can make. and that's, I feel, has been a sensible way to do it. It's been working reasonably. No, not the. It's been working decently well. I'm now making nearly all of the robot types, so I don't need to be quite so picky. But eventually, yeah, and also, to be honest, I've not really thought about expanding very much for a while. I've been playing with the other new toys. Since it came out, I've been playing with the whole Xeno everything stuff because it's new and interesting and exciting, and I haven't. No, not that. Okay, there we go. Because it's new and exciting, and I want to play with the new toys. What? Look at that. Sorry, I had to concentrate on what I was doing for a moment there. So copy of that. Yeah, so I've been playing with the new toys rather than with the making all the new robots. So there's still 4 or 5 types of bots and robots that I haven't made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sure. Paste. Right, so that's enough for these 2 machines. I've run out of machines. Fine, I'll go and deal with that in a moment. But first, I will put in some foundation under here because otherwise I'll forget. So yeah, there's still a few types of robot that I haven't made yet, but that's okay. I will eventually make them and start selling them. But it's been a lot more interesting to go out and play with all the stuff from Update 3, all the Xeno toys and such likes. So I've been doing a lot of that. Pump jack, casting machine. That's the bunny. Gimme. Come back over here again. And paste these in and then go, what was I making these for? I cannot remember. Right, so now we're making super alloy in super numbers. 20 a minute times 8, so 160 a minute. Nice. What did I need super alloy? Oh yeah, it was for one of the... There was something Xeno related in here, wasn't there? Was it some of the Xeno... Oh no, it was for making the energy things, which are a component. Yes, making the Xeno power cores. That needed super alloy, Xeno scrap, Xeno crystal, charged Xeno crystals, and rubber. And I had everything except the super alloy. So I thought, right, I'll go off and make the super alloy. Okay. Yeah, having the competitions sabotaging your builds would be extremely frustrating, and I suspect not very good gameplay. It's like in you don't want to just find that, I don't know, a bomb has gone off somewhere in the random weird area of your factory, or a random piece of belt has been rotated or removed or something like that. I don't honestly think that would be fun. So I think they're very wise not to implement that as a feature. Okay, so I need to get that over to here and into my next row of bus. So that's going to need to come down here and round the back of here and over this way, perhaps, I guess. Yeah, that could work. And then I'll and then in here I can squeeze in a machine that will make those charged. That will make the power cell things. I don't really have... Well, technically I could run it along here, I guess. As I say, I don't actually have enough width for that, because in theory my buses are all 3 wide. Now I've broken that in a number of places, but in theory each one has 3 belts in it, because that's as far out, except these ones, because they were made with older technology. Each one is 3 belts wide, because then you can have inserters that will grab in for everything on in that whole bus area and take it into the machines on either side of it, which works nicely. Except I'm going to need rubber, which is on this one, and scrap, which is here, and the charged crystals, which are here. And so where do I put the additional thing? Where do I put the unobtainium? Now maybe the answer to that actually is these shouldn't be on the bus. These are a finished product. These should be, maybe they should be going underground and then being fed over to the box over here differently, in order to keep them sort of out of the way. And there's a belt missing there for reasons. Let's put that back in. So yeah, this belt should not be part of the bus. It should go along. It can go under the bus and then pop up over here. So let's fix that and then sort things out from there. So I'm going to end up with an awful lot of these things in my inventory, but that's okay. We'll deal with it later. Maybe I'll go out and expand my solar field, because I've just put in another 2 arc furnaces, and I think they're quite power hungry. Take out that. Take out that. Take out... Yeah, alright, we'll go to here. And I need to go underneath. Is there anything along here difficult that I'm going to be dealing with? No. Yeah, no. No, I can just go along one down from here. So this is going to be quite easy. You, there, no. There to... There, height 1, yes. So just fly along here, delete all of this dirt, and then I can say I would like to have a belt that comes from here. It needs to go down. I said down. It needs to run all the way under all of this to here. I'm then going to want to get rid of there to there, just because I can and it's there. And then from there I'm going to go backwards, but I'm going to go down to... So I meet that, like that. Perfect. Right, okay, so that's good. We're going to have to make it... It's going to eat all of our batteries for quite a while. Oh, actually, no, I could probably put them in here. I could probably put all the ones I've just picked up. Manage inventory, put batteries in the output. Put batteries in the output. Put batteries in the output. There we go. I think those are all the ones I picked up. So that's now... Yeah, there we go. Yes, that's now filled up again. Lovely. And so that means my next belt is going to be above this one. It's going to run trundle all the way along here. We're going to have another green belt. It's going to come in like this. It's going to go over the... It's going to come to about here. Then it's going to go up and up. Oh, okay. I forget how space hungry the ramps are. So I'll come to here. Then we'll go up, and then that'll be all right. And we need to go up again. Now let's just go up again. There we go. I can bring that over to here, and then can I punch it through? Yeah. Okay. So I'll go to here, and then I'll come through here. Go up again. I can go through next to the thermalite. Excellent. So this makes a sort of sense. Just squeeze it through in the same sort of area. And I feel there's something quite pleasing about running belts next to each other like this, and having your own little sort of little bus type shenaniganeries going on. Will it just go over the top of all of that automatically? No, of course not. So we'll come to here. Then we do need to go up and over that, and then back down again to next to that one. That's too much down. And along here. Fine. Can we do an up and over? Yeah, we can. Let's just go to there for now. Then I can shoot this rock, because it is offending my delicate sensibilities. And then this can come from here and go into there. Now, I strongly suspect, I haven't looked it up yet, but I strongly suspect that we're going to need super alloy somewhere down there in the not too distant future for making bots of some description out of. So I expect I'm going to be coming along here, and I'm going to be putting a splitter in maybe here, and then running an additional belt all the way down there as part of this bus, and into the actual nice bus down the far end over there. But for now, this is fine. So we're now running this into the bus area, and I wanted a machine along here somewhere. So let's drop in here like this. Shoot that rock, because that's what rocks are for. Boom! That one really exploded. And then we'll have a quick look in here and find out how we make these things. It's made in a crystal refiner again. That's annoying, because the crystal refiner is a large building. It's 4x4 instead of 3x3 like everything else along here. Okay. Sigh. So I guess we're not going to be able to get the rubber in unless I move this out one, and then have these all kink out one as well. I think that might be what I end up having to do, which is a little bit gross, but never mind. I don't think I need very many crystal refiners, so let's make this by hand. I need 50 iron, 10 circuits, 10 advanced machinery parts. Here's the iron. Nom 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 nom. 30, 40, 50. Circuit boards. I need 10, I think, of those, and that's more than 10. And the advanced components, I have no idea what I needed of these. This guy, 20. Right, make me one of those. And I'm probably not going to have... Oh, no, there we go. There is room in my inventory to make it. Excellent. Right, back over here. So, now I need to do some digging. Use you. I would like to make a 4... No, I'd like to make a 5x5 because we're probably going to need a bit more space. Take out that area. Boom! Just like that. Then we'll fill you with foundation. And I want to put in one of these guys. There's no fluids required for this one. So I'm going to put it there. And then go, is this going to give me room? Because I didn't think my cunning plan all the way through. So you're going to go out and across like that. You're going to go like that. And you're going to go like that. There is room! Yeah! No, there isn't, because I'm going to need the crystals in as well. Bother. Said poo. I'm just going to move this across. Let me check the recipe for this, actually. Because I might be overly worrying about something unnecessary. No, it does require the xeno crystals, so I need two. I need to be able to put 2 inserters in. So pick you back up again. Yoink! And put you down there instead. And now we extend the foundations a little bit. And you know what, let's just link them up. There we go, why not? Let's enjoy ourselves. Right, so now I need a short inserter like that, and a long extra long inserter like that. That'll pick up those two ingredients. We also need to tell this one what we want it to do. It also needs to be powered. Oh, are you a high voltage? No. What? Oh, this one's not powered either. Oh, when I was coming through here, I broke everything. Right. Alright, that's easy enough to fix. Boom. There we go. Right, let me program you. You, I would like to make the power cores. Boom. You also need rubber that comes and super duper alloy, and I'm stuck on a pipe. So over here, we put in a short inserter there. Oh, it needs to be a little bit longer so we could get over to there and pick up the rubber, and one of those as well. There we go. Are you now a happy bunny already? Yes, you are. Sweet. Okay, so we're making Xeno power cores. Lovely. As far as I can tell, these are only actually required for those researcher McGubbinses, but I'm glad we're making them because it means I don't have to go off and find them. Throwing things under the bus. Mass transit abuse is very good. Yeah, the rubber from the other side was okay. But yes, you're quite right. I did need to move it out, that extra square out, in order to get to the rubber there. I hadn't noticed that until I'd already moved it, but it worked out okay. Right, give me also takey. Okay, I don't have anything to feed into there. So now I can come back over to here and say, would you like any of my stuff? I still need these darn broken, damaged power core things, so I can't actually unlock anything along here because these are all dependent on things further up. That one I could get actually, and that one I could probably get, but I need to go off and unlock these before I can get most of these. So I guess I am going to have to go off and find some broken power cores. So I'll put you in there. I'll take that with me just in case. I don't know if it's going to be actually any use because I haven't put the basic resources into a Xeno chest yet. Maybe I should set that up before I go. Let's do a dump of trash belt types because I've got a lot of trash belts. So that's over here. I would like to give you any of this I've got. Take that. Nope. And take that. Lovely. And take that. Lovely. Then out onto this one as well, because these are also what I consider to be trash tier. You can have that. Yep, I had one of them. Great. Still, you know, it saves space in the old inventory. Oh, it's 60-something of those. That's much more worthwhile. And then over here, reach 1. Still, that's a load of space cleared up here in the inventory, so I can sort that. I've got an entire row free now, which is really good. Right, so I guess it's time to go hunting for... Well, I need the damaged power cores, and I'd like to find more scrap and crystal deposits. So we'll go off looking for those. So if I come over here, I can go into the tunnel once again. Nope. Before you go, Laurence, actually set up that resource gathering that you've been talking about for absolutely ages. So what I want to feed into there is going to be iron and copper and components and electric components and advanced components and steel and circuit boards, and basically it's everything that's going onto the bus here, along here. That's quite a lot of stuff. I don't know how I feel about that. Or rather, I don't know how I feel would be a good way to do that. It could be multiple chests. I could have one here that takes in iron and copper, and then one here that takes in the 2 types of components, four takes in some things from both sides over here. That'd be quite good. Maybe that's the way to do it. It's the way to do it. Right, so I would like to put in a Xeno logistics chest here, and I would like you to not be too big to fit. And as if by magic, it seems to be okay, because for some reason there's nothing being shipped along here, because that's pipes. Okay, well that's worked out quite nicely. I'm actually okay with that. So let's go zappy zappy along here. And there's a coal belt running just underground there. This was before I learnt to bury my transport belts a little bit more deeply. But you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So put that there and there. And then we want a short inserter there and a medium inserter there. And I want to stick cable on top of it. I put the cables away. And I want to turn both of these off before they get carried away. That, and then over here same again, short and a medium, and then again we'll turn them both off before they just fill the box up, because I don't want to fill the box up. There we go. And then I will go and get the cables. Cables are very, very useful. Cables come from yes, here, this one. Give me that. Down to 132 of them. That's still a decent number. I don't think I have anything to worry about yet. Right, and then data cable plugs into there and there and there and there and there, and then same on the other side, across there like that. These are really fat cables. I don't know what kind of data they think we're pumping down these, but they're enormous. Right, and then we get the clipboard out and we go, you're doing advanced component. You're doing advanced component. Clicky? Oh! I didn't get the cables into no. Somehow I didn't get the cable. Can you stop being wrong, please? What is going on here? Oh, right, I see. It has to. Oh, I see. It has to go at that height. Right, that's what was wrong. Yeah. This one seems to be okay. Right. Anyway, over here. Boink. Right. Enable when... What are you doing? You're doing advanced components. That's that one. Is less than... constant 200. Bip. There we go. And then you enable when, what are you doing? You're doing steel is less than constant 200. I feel this requires too many clicks. I don't know where the unnecessary clicks are, but it feels like it takes too many of them. Also, this might as well be upgraded. Boop. And these two. Beep. Boop. I'm now going to have to dump a load more belts, but that's okay. Right, and then you're doing electrical components, so enable when electronic components, is less than constant 200. And then you are doing enable when what are they even called? I thought they were called mechanical components, but apparently they're not. I might have to just scroll for them. So those are the machinery parts probably. There we go, machinery parts, not components. is less than the other one. Constant 200. Set. Close. Input. Input. There we go. Right, so this chest will now fill up to 200 of each of those. Except the steel is still flowing. What are you doing? Crazy. That's not steel. There we go. This is the danger. Right, so yeah, that seems to be about right. We've gone slightly over with the advanced components. That's not a problem. I don't care. I don't care if it's gone a little bit over. That's fine. Right, so that's some of the stuff I need. I also need green circuits and iron and copper. Well, I've got green circuits here and iron, and I could theoretically get thermalite and batteries from here. Sorry, energy cells from here if I wanted, and actually batteries and maybe even pipes with a little bit of effort. I don't know. So yeah, let's grab some stuff from here. I can put if I put in a box here, then I can get plastic as well if I bring it right back over to here. So let's put my last Xeno chest in here, like that. And we're going to assume that I'm not going to need energy cells because I don't think those are a thing that I need in any particular quantity. They don't go into stuff I try and build by hand, rather, is what I'm trying to say. Take out that la 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 la, which means I have to pull all of this out. And then run that underground for a short distance. Now this is a thing that is quite legitimate to have on the bus. It's going to have to go further underground than that, isn't it? This is a thing that's perfectly legitimate to have on the bus. I just don't want it on the bus here. Or rather, I want to use the space for the bus. So I'm not going to send it quite as far underground as I did with the... what was it? What was the other thing I sent? Oh yeah, the completed batteries. Those were a little bit unnecessary. So I want to go to there. I want to go up again twice, and we find that we can't because I need to take out that, and then I can put that back in there. Right, there we go. And then I can put some thing across there like that. I'm not going to be able to get all three of these because this belt is in the wrong place. I can maybe nudge it across a little bit if I need to, but to be honest, I don't expect to need very much anything from this side. What I do want is these things from over here. So I'm going to put in a short one there because I can. I can put in a medium one there and a long one there. That's not a long one, that's a short one. Oh, no, it is a long one. I'll take it back. Right, and then we get the cables back out again. And we'll go across the top of here like that. Then we go up, and then we go onto there and there. Boom, connected. Then, once again, down here, so you're iron. So I want you to do enable when iron, xenophorite, is less than... This is the downside of me giving them the sensible names. When I need to find them in a list using the search function, I have to remember the silly names. Right, so that's that one. And then this one is circuits. Enable when... Are they called circuits? Yes, they are. Sweet. What are they called? Circuit board. Okay, fine. That's good enough for me. Circuit board is less than constant 200. I apologise for the slight repetitiveness of what I'm doing at the moment, but I think it's going to be worth it when I can just summon resources to me wherever I am. And your plastic, which is called something completely different. I think it's called polymer. Yeah, polymer something or other. Polymer board is less than 200. Right, and there we go. Now they might have overloaded a little bit because the belts were going a bit too quick. Yeah, there we go. We got 205 circuit boards. That's fine. 200 iron, 200 plastic. Great. I could do thermalite and magic alloy and plastic from here as well if I wanted to. At the moment, I don't care very much about those, so I'm not going to. The particular things that I want to be able to build remotely at the moment are these things, and that's steel, advanced machinery parts and circuit boards, and those are all in the system, so I can always summon some of those if I've got one of these Xeno logistics towers with me and high voltage power. So that means I can now buzz off again and go off looking for more stuff. Now, I do seem to still have enough crystals and scrap coming through, so maybe I don't need more of those, but it would be sort of nice to try and go and get some. If I can find any more places where they come from, then I would like to get some more. So, right, let's yeah, you can see we're getting through the crystals at a reasonable rate at the moment because they're all being made into stuff. Right, if I fly down here, I'm just going to keep going in a straight line until my radar pings and says it's found something. And this time we're not looking for the actual good cut core things. You'd think I'd be able to make the broken cores from the functional cores, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's what Board Easy said about half an hour ago. Yeah, why can't I just hit them with a mallet until they break, and then have them? But you know what? Let's just make sure I can't, and I haven't just missed it. No, there's no broken anything in there that I can build. So I do actually need to just fly off and find them. Which, I mean, going off and finding them in the world kind of makes sense because it's sort of a rite of passage. No, it's part of the what's the word? Part of the progression of the game. But also on the flip side, it seems a little bit silly that I'm making the actual finished cores. Oh, I found some alien scrap. Nice. It is 32 below, which sounds like a temperature. They're all the same sort of distance away, downwards. Oh, actually, I may have a hole here that I can disappear down. Yes, there we go. This might take me down to 30, more than 30 below. Oop, down. Yes. Okay, there's an alien scrap node at about this sort of height. That's interesting. Where's the big boy? Oh, it's 30 away this way. Oh, right, that's the alien. That's the same alien scrap node I already know about. Damn it. Right, let's turn off the searching for the alien scrap node. That was a bit dumb. There we go. Now, I can fly around in here a bit, I suppose. We're just going to get told there's nothing in range, which is rather unexciting. I was hoping I was going to find some big, juicy scrap pieces that I could harvest and get the big, juicy thingy. What do you call it? Where's the way out of here? I saw lava earlier. I'm sure of it. How high am I? No, I won't have done actually. I'm at height of 50. Right. What do I do at this point then? Do I go up to the surface and go from there? Do I extend this tunnel forever? Maybe. That's is a possibility. I've got the boring machine with me, and I have some fuel. So, all right, let's do that. Let's go. Make a hole 5 by 5 by 5, and we'll put the boring machine in it, and we'll trundle down there and see what we can find. There we go. And I might even have 2 boring machines now. Yes, I do in fact have 2 boring machines because I lost one and then I found it again later. So, no, I don't want to put 2 boring machines down. That'd be a bit too boring. I want to fuel you off the coal. I want you to... can I set that to 0 and it'll go forever? No. Okay, we'll set it to 300 and just set it going and see how we go. Xeno scrap juice. Yeah, maybe there'll be another thing I can discover. Who knows? I think I got to the bottom of the tiers in the Xeno experimenting machine. So I think I've got as far as I can with those things. But I could be wrong. Yeah. Oh, large Xeno scrap. It's still basically 200 away. But, you know, I'll go for the ride a little bit further. We'll carry on with this tunnel. And see what we see when we get a bit closer. I can go down there. And where you find one large Xeno scrap, you tend to find more. So I'm cautiously optimistic that I'll be able to get a decent few from there. I need 15 of them before I go back, ideally. And I should probably have a bit of a look around, make sure I'm not running out of any other resources. Although, as I think I've said, the only one that isn't infinite these days is the olumite. Oh, and the stone, actually. So hopefully I'm not running out of either of those. I don't know what else there is I go out looking for these at the moment. Oh, and then once, yeah, then there's, theoretically I can start putting in more robot production on the end. Excuse me, on the end over here, just to get more and more types of robots to ship up to space. You can see here where I've cut out the side of the mountain, and apparently it counts that as green for some reason, which is a bit weird. It probably should count it as brown, because I'm pretty sure there's no grass growing along there. But, never mind. It can do what it wants. Alright, am I at the... Yes, I am at about the right distance now. So, stop drilling here. Turn. Go. I'm not digging... I don't want to dig a hole 144 long by hand, if I can avoid it. So, heading off this way. La 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 la. Yeah, so I want to build... Eventually, I'm going to build more and more and more robot production down here. I probably should have had my bots destroying this mountain while I've been doing other things, but never mind. Yeah, mining the acid... Mining the acid? No, mining the lava would be an interesting extra resource to have in a sort of a kind of Vulcanus way. That would be maybe require another advanced alien technology or something like that. We do use the lava. That's what powers the lava smelters that allow me to do the thermalite squashing. So there is they aren't completely unused, but yeah, they're not very used. I wonder if I turn the scanning for scrap deposits back on again. Okay, there aren't any around here. Fine. There aren't any around here, that's all I can really say. Okay, we might as well stop here. We've gone about as far as we can go. So I guess it's a case of go through the wall and boom, 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 boom. I need to go down 26 squares. I'm hoping and assuming I'm just going to drop into a cave as I get near the yeah, like this basically. And then in this cave, there's going to be things like that. Yoink, yoink. So that's 2 of them, 3 of them. Like I said, they tend to come in groups of lots, and also with some of these large crystal guys as well, which is quite nice. Okay, nearest one is now 50, 60 away from me. That should mark my exit, shouldn't I? I just follow. Yeah, I can't just follow the trail of chaos back. Was it up here? I think it was up here. Nope, I've lost it already. And the plot. And my boring machine doesn't show up on the map. We might be doomed. I might have lost another boring machine. I say lost another boring machine. I've lost it once before and then I found it again. Problem is, a hole in the ceiling is very, very hard to find, which is why I should have marked it, as Bordeezy says. You're quite right. I am not going to argue with you. Yeah, I've got two used to regular helping me out, and I just didn't even think of it. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. I'll just have to punch up to surface level and then fly around and then fly back above ground. So at least it is fairly easy to escape. It's not like I'm going to starve down here. That would be unfortunate, wouldn't it? Especially as I'm a robot. Okay, there is another Xeno scrap. Oh, they light the big ones lighter. Oh. Here's a thingamawatsit. That's worth knowing about. Let's go and boop it so that I tag it. There we go. Tagged. Now I can find it again in the future. That's very worth having. Not that I'm actually getting through the scrap at a rate that would require me to do that, to have another one of those. But I think it's still nice to have another one of those. Oh, thank you, regular. That's very kind of you. Okay, that's really useful. I will actually use that number and go out the way I came in. Then in that case, thank you. Oh no, you're just glowing slightly. You're not as glowy. That looks nope. It's just glowy. Yoink. Hang on, I must have flown past this one to get to that one. Why didn't you tell me about it then? I didn't quite fly past it, I guess, because it's through the wall here. Pop, another cave. How many of these have I got now? 41. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, I saw it then. It'd be under B for broken? No. That's my Xeno Logistics Tower. 8. I've got 8 of them so far. And I need 15. Nine. I feel like I should shoot these crystals just because then I get the resources from them, but I don't need them. Oh, it's a lot lower. The next one's a lot lower down. Does this cave go off in any other useful way that I can I can fly to it by caving rather than by digging? Because in a way, I kind of feel there's something satisfying about flying around in the caves and finding resources. That's a bit more. Yeah, it's a lot more satisfying than just tunneling to them, I think. And it's nice to have the radar tells you where they are, certainly, but it's nice but it's also nice to fly around in the caves just trying to spot them, even if I'm using the radar to help. And I stopped counting how many I've got, so I'm going to have to check my inventory again in a minute. But I think I'm probably virtually there. 14, one more. And there's one 50 something away, and it's a little bit lower. There it is. Right, yoink. Okay, so now I need to get back to 1410 minus 47. 1410 is this way, and it's a bit of that way. So I need to do a lot of that way, which is difficult because the cave doesn't want me to. I remember that hole. I nipped through that earlier. Right, so this is the right sort of general direction. There's a lot of scrap on the ground here. This feels like, because this is. I wonder if this is kind of like Fulgora. Well, there's a very, very straight wall along here as well. I wonder if that's a. No, I'm way outside the generated area, so I don't know why there's a massive hole, flat wall here. Oh, the hole's half in the wall, not in the ceiling. That makes sense. 1410. I've got to 1410. There we go. 1410 minus 47. So I need to go that way, and then back around this way. There it is. Yay! Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Right, so yeah, I'm not gonna worry about finding the ore patch, the scrap patch from there. I'm going to then build another hole down to the scrap patch from where it actually is, and that gets tagged on the map conveniently like that. So we don't need to worry too much about finding that manually. About finding it by remembering the number. It's a little bit further along, and then it's turn right. Okay, so forwards. Bonk, 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 bonk. It works gradually and eventually. So we'll get to here and we'll stop, and then we'll turn right, and then we'll dig. Okay, finish turning it. There we go. Now dig again. Diggy, 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 diggy. And I reckon about here is good. Stop. Thank you. And go down. Go. What height was this at? 65. Hey, here's the hole. And stop there. Right, so it must be here somewhere. There it is. Right, so I need to use the right type of drill on this, which is one of these guys. Bop, Xeno scrap extractor. If I had any sense at all, I would have rotated that to make sure the output was pointing towards me. Let's try that again with slightly less fail. Where's the output? Where is the output? Oh, there it is. I see it. And the panel as well. So this doesn't have power, which is fair enough because, well, it doesn't. And I have a nice big hole here that I'm going to put an elevator in the wall. Or where am I going to put the elevator? No, I'm just going to put the elevator at the edge of the hole. Or why not? So come down to here. I'm going to need low voltage power for all this as well, aren't I? Oh well, never mind. Let's have some of that. We'll put this in. So the drill is at this height. So yes, we'll just put a floor in here, like so. Then I can put in one of my freight elevators. I've still got 50 of those. Is that automated? Oh, yeah, that's automated. I keep having that topped up. That's really handy. Freight elevator bottom. Put you there. Lovely bottom. And then, yes, I know you... Wait, what? No, not there. Let's try that again. Put it in the right place this time. Or the right level. Freight elevator 4. You go there. Then you get an inserter. Boop. And you get a belt. Goes from there to there. Lovely. And then we have a power cable. Goes from there to... Fine, we'll put it there. It sort of just about missed, kind of missed that rock. And then we can have it run to about... yeah, there works actually. That's quite nice. In a not grossly in the way of everything else kind of way. Then we can run you up. Ooh, and we can rotate you, put you there. That's quite nice too. Then I can put in the top of the elevator here. So we'll take another one of those. This time it'll be a top. And we want it at that height. There we go. And then we can put in some foundation for that as well. Where's the best way to go down the hole if you're a person? Okay, over here. So in that case, let's fly back out of the hole. Let's foundation across there like that, because that really makes it obvious that you're supposed to go down the hole over here. And then from under here, I can put my foundation animatron into vertical mode, and I can go from there to there. So that's power being brought down there now. Or at least it would be if there was any power to speak of. Then back up here, I can bash out a hole in the wall here using my laser. Let's go 4x4 like that. Should have gone that way because that's where the power cable is, but never mind, it doesn't actually matter. Put in some... Oh, I'm still in vertical. Put in some flooring, and then put in a transformer. There we go. I've still got 7 of these. That's going really well. And that's going to need a power cable as well. So that goes from there to there. And then we're going to need a power cable from there to... Basically, I'm going to have to run this all the way back to the main factory. It's either that or run it up to the surface and put in some solar panels and have it, and maybe its own set of batteries, which honestly might be easier. But I'm going to have to run a belt anyway, so I don't know. Either way is going to be a pain in the what's name. So let's just keep everything on the same power grid because why not? Off you go. Boop. And then we switch back over to this. And this is going to be really, really annoying, for which I apologise. But I need to have power and belt all the way to the end of this corridor. And I do wish they put in a better way of putting in these pylons, because this is... I think I might actually have moaned about this every single stream since I got them. But this is a little bit painful. Eventually, I'll get back to the rest of the main part of the. I'll get back to the tunnel from where I started digging, and then I'll be able to plug it into the main network over there. Yeah, copy paste sort of works, I guess. Because oh, I'm nearly there. Actually, that's not been so bad. Copy paste kind of helps because I guess I could copy and paste a chunk of half a dozen of them. I suppose maybe that would be easier. What are you? You're a belt of nothing. Why are you a belt of nothing? What's going on down here? Oh, there is a hole going all the way down. I knew I saw lava over here somewhere. Right, so this is another belt of scrap. I just don't know why didn't seem to be any coming out. Okay, there is some coming out. It's just really slow. Fine. It's a good thing I'm about to double its rate then, isn't it? So, from here, this is the same stuff, so I can just do this. And the production rate is so slow that I only feel slightly guilty about linking 2 belts together like this. Side loaderly. There we go. So that goes along there. Right, so we should have scrap coming along here now. Let's fly back a little way along here and make sure that things are working. There should be some scrap. I see no scrap. Oh, this is why I check things. Right, there we go. There is some scrap. I've only got like 4 pieces out so far, but you know, it's a start. And in another 10 minutes, we'll presumably get another one out as well. There we go, like that. So yeah, these drills are really, really slow at producing scrap, which is why I potentially will need to go out and find more and more and more and more of the patches. That said, my needs for the scrap don't seem to be particularly high. There's a couple of recycling recipes that will turn it into other resources, but I don't care about those because it's much easier to just make the other resources the old-fashioned way. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to go back with my haul of damage power doohickey thingies and go and do all the research over there, and then do all the research with the shiny types of shiny crystals, and then all the ones with the actual power cores that I'm building on site, and then we'll see if there's anything else after that. But I don't think there is. How far have I? How long is this tunnel? Okay, well I've got to the point where the where this joint on. Now there is actually another patch, as I said. I was going to say just over here. It's not just over here. It's all the way up here. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go off that one because it's blooming miles away, and I don't actually seem to have a shortage of scrap at the moment. At least I haven't noticed a shortage of scrap yet. I am noticing this belt is quite empty. I don't know how far back along the belt it is backed up. Oh, here we go. This far. So I do have quite a lot of scrap available at the moment. It's not an enormous amount. It could be easily be a lot more. But it's probably enough to keep me going for the time being. And I will go off and find more when I need more. I think that's a sensible way to do it. Up we go. And is it here? Is this the level I want to come out? Yeah, this is the level I want to come out. There we go. Right. So, what have I done? I have gone and got a load more broken power cores. So that means I can come over to here. I could turn scrap into ore just to use it up. No, I think the face cam is in sync. But if anyone else thinks it's out, please let me know, and we'll see if we agree. Right, so I'm just going to unlock everything now. So I want that one. Yes. I could turn scrap into ore just to use it up. I think I'd rather not, because I might have other uses for it in the future, and there's no real point. Because I have plenty of ore coming out of everywhere else. So, oh, I've run out of scrap. Is there any in here? No. Fortunately, there is a box over here, and a chest, and a belt, sorry, that can help. So I'll take another 388 scrap. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't see any point in turning scrap into ore, even if I've got an excess of it. Because I've got so much ore coming out of my vein mining that there's no actual shortage of it. If there was some ludicrously complicated process that turned a certain amount of scrap into an enormous quantity of ore, maybe that would be worth playing with. But I don't think it. I don't feel like it's worth it, really. I think I'm going to run out of scrap, aren't I? Oh no, I haven't run out of scrap yet. Yeah, I don't think there's much point. I'll check the recipes out for the scrap recycling because I'm sort of slightly curious about it, but I don't think it's going to be particularly useful. Right, that's all the damaged power core tier stuff unlocked now. So now I need charged crystals. So let's hello spaceship. Let's dump all of this stuff back into here. So I don't need. I've got a load of scrap that I don't need. I'll give you the crystals because why not? They can sit in there until I need more of them. And I have, in fact, used up that. I got exactly the right number of damaged power cores. I'm quite pleased about that. Right, 500 of those. Oh, scrap into oil. That's an interesting point. Yeah, if that can be done, that might be that could be very handy. Yeah, all right, fair enough. There is an alternative. So the crystal only turns into the ores. Up here we have. It just gives me the scrap recycler. We don't know what that does yet. Well, I want to unlock everything, obviously. Let's get the personal mining drone upgrades first. I think they're probably the most valuable right now. So I have that one and that one. So my personal mining drones are now going to be 2 tiers better than they were before, which is fantastic. And then also increasing the rate of resupply, it also seems really, really useful. So we'll grab that. I've now run out. Oh no, I can do crafting speed. Let's grab that one as well. Then I need another 200 for the the extra Xeno system slots, which I don't necessarily need right now, but they're probably going to be useful in the future. Then I need a large quantity of power cores in order to unlock all of this stuff across here. So more personal mining drones, more crafting speed, more Xeno logistics. So let's get some more of those. And that's what, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 102 plus 200 of those. And there's some in here, so there's 25. How many have you made so far? Given that I need 177. Made 100. Okay, that's pretty good. Oops. I'll take those. And actually, that's a reasonably quick process. That's not too painful. And then over here, I need another 200 of these. Right, while that machine's running, let's go and unlock a few more things. So this has been quite productive. I've now got the stuff I need to go in and just unlock absolutely everything except that. Which I do. I want to unlock that for the sake of completeness, even if I don't really want it. Yes, upgrading the range and speed of personal miners. Oh, actually, the range isn't necessarily a problem. It's the speed and the What's the other one of these I get then? Yes, the speed and number of them. So I can probably just walk straight through a mountain now, as long as I've marked the whole thing for deconstruction. So yeah, I may well even be able to walk through walls now, which would be quite cool. Crafting speed, sure, why not? Not the handcraft stuff very often, but yeah, no, there's the options there. Speed of resupply, definitely interested in that. Wait, I misremembered how many I needed. I've got an excessive number of the power things, so that's now unlocked everything across there. Everything across there is just the crystal ore refinement, which needs another 250, and I'm done. We're done with all the Xeno unlocks. So in here, I will give you my power cores because I might as well. I will take 63 of those. Actually, 113. I needed, what was it? 250. So there's a bit. I need to wait for that machine to charge up a load of crystals, but that's okay. We can do that. I'm fine with that. Right, so I've done now basically all the Xeno shenaniganry. While I'm standing around waiting for those to charge up a few more crystals. Let's have a look at the finances tab up here. Yeah, so next Wednesday, yes, probably I'll go back to building robot types because I'll have done all the Xeno stuff, so I might as well. I can tick that one off. Ooh, look, I'm now in third from the bottom instead of actually at the bottom. So I have now overtaken Nexus Core Exchange and Core Link Network. So okay, that is kind of exciting and kind of cool. The fact that I have now got to the point where I'm no longer right at the bottom of the list. And it's also interesting because I didn't go off and put in any new flight robot selling place route thing doohickeys. I just expanded. I just kind of expanded out, and I just left it running. And somehow I've managed to gain more market dominance even without setting up any new trade routes. So that's slightly surprising. Anyway, over here, how are we doing? So I want to look at these graphs. And as I've said in previous streams, the trick with these is to look at these and see if they're flat all the way across like this, then this means you're selling those things at a steady rate. Therefore, you probably don't have any supply issues. And this one is basically the same as well, so that's fine. They're both fine. I could lower the prices that I'm selling them at and sell more of them. That is a thing that I could consider, but I'd rather just make more types of robots than make them cheaper, I think, to be honest. These two I haven't made yet, so there's a shortage of both of those because I'm just not making them. I'm surprised I'm not making... Oh, maybe I'm making two types of transport bot, not transport... Oh, fine, whatever. Vacuum bots, looks okay. And they sometimes dip down at the end because this is today, and it builds up and up and up and up and up as today goes on, and then eventually we'll be at the same height, so it's kind of hard to tell. Cleaning bots had a problem earlier on, but have now recovered. I wonder if that's related to the coal shortage that we had apparently about a week ago. As in 6, 7 in-game days. Maybe, but it seems to be okay at the moment. It's a little bit concerning there was this big dip, but it seems to be alright now. Lightbot, Snackbot's fine. Screenbots had the same problem, so there was definitely something wrong with my supply at that point. Something was causing issues there. Mining drone, all good. Yeah, both not doing those yet, all good. Science assistant drone had the same problems, and that spiked back up and is now starting to work. Combat drone had problems as well, is now okay. That surprises me a bit, actually, because I thought I was really short of weapon parts, and therefore I was going to, and I thought I found that out last time, and therefore would need to upgrade this. Perhaps there was another shortage caused here, and that allowed it to back up on the belt, and now we're working through the supply? I don't know. Maintenance drones same, mining robots same, persons farmer robots same, combat robot, that's a bit all over the place. Let's go and have a look and find out why they're struggling, and maybe the farmer robots as well at the same time. Yes, you're right, I was short on explosives. I could believe explosives would take coal, so maybe the shortage of coal was causing the shortage of weapon parts. Sorry, the shortage of coal was causing the shortage of explosives, which is causing the shortage of weapon parts. So now there's enough coal, maybe there's enough explosives. Let's go and have a look. I'm still a little bit concerned about the combat robots and the farmer robots, though. Those seem to be struggling. So, to answer Sophia's question, will these unlocks give me new things to build? Yes. So, they've given me lots of things that are sort of that are just sort of internal to the whole Xeno system, like being able to make the Xeno scrap extractors and crystal extractors. So those are only useful for the whole internal Xeno tech thing. However, you do get one very, very valuable thing, and that's the Xeno logistics. And if I put down a Xeno logistics tower, then I will automatically be resupplied with anything that I put into these Xeno chests. You can tell they're Xeno because they've got this weird thing on the top of them. This art style is Xeno. This art style is my tech. And these will automatically teleport things from these chests to my inventory as long as I'm in range of one of these Xeno towers. Ah, that's the thing I need to set up, actually. I need to set up automatic Xeno logistics tower production, which is this guy, which is machinery parts, electronic components, Xeno scrap, and Xeno... None of those are in the same place. Oh, that's going to be awful. So I've got the scrap and crystal over here. That's fine. I've got the... What was it? Machinery parts and electronic components over here. So they exist too. That's kind of annoying. I guess I'll put it in here and I'll hand feed it the other stuff because I don't expect to need enormous numbers of these, at least until I start trying to blanket my entire factory with them. So let's play with the new bot speed. That does seem pretty quick, to be fair. Right, and now I can put in some foundation across here like that. Dumpty, dumpty, dumpty. And then, was that built in a standard assembler? Yes, it is. So I'll put down an assembler. No, I put down an assembler. Machines assemble. Boink. There we go. Extend the belt. Zoop. Zoop. Only needs those two. And then we can put in an inserter. And medium inserter like that. We can tell you that I would like to configure you. I would like you to make the Xeno logistics tower like that. Can robots be pocket crafted? No, I think. Because normally, if you can craft something, oh, actually, no, these are all showing. So normally, if you can craft, if you can pocket craft something, it either shows with a number if you've got the stuff ready to do, or in red if you don't have the resources for it. If I try and look at the robots, then they're greyed out a bit like liquids and things are. So I think you can't pocket craft robots. That's my Thank you, Regular and Sophia, for giving those the notes for that. Yeah. So what I'm thinking is I come along here and I do inventory dumps like that, or I just carry some supplies over, and I'll make a few of them that way. And I'll go, why is this belt so slow? And I'll do that, so I can steal from it more quickly. So let's pick up a bunch of those and a bunch of these. Oh, okay. I'm not as familiar with the user interface in this game as I am with certain other games I've played for a bajillion hours, so I didn't notice the interface being there or not being there. So, thank you. Right, so if I make a few of these, I could feed that. I should put these out into the logistics chest as well. That'd be kind of circular and cool. So if I do this, make you into an exerter, like that. And then, yeah, there is just about room to get under there. I can run this over to here. Like that. And then put in one of these guys, like so. And then that goes from there to join onto there. And then we get the clipboard out and we go boop. And we say, I want you to enable when I seem to have caps on for some reason. Logistics tower is less than. I'm going to set this to 10 because 10 is still quite a lot for this sort of thing. Something I need to actually build and set up manually. Right, so there we go. Now we can have those being made. I still don't have the other resources coming over here, which is kind of sucky, but I guess I can chuck some in by hand every so often just to get the machines running. Just so that I've got a few of them. And as I say, I don't intend to be putting down enormous numbers of these. They're quite nice to have, but as long as I remember to pick them up from time to time, then I can just have them in whatever area I'm building in at any given time. Which one of these do I have more of? I think I have more of the mechanicals. Yeah, I should only need sort of 1 or 2, and then I'll come back and get some, or I'll come back or request some more every time I lose one. Right, okay, so that can now make some more of those. They can be put into the box over here. I'd like to have a couple of them though. I probably don't need. You know what? Let's just take them all. So I've got a full stack of them. And while I'm here, I'm going to put one of these down in this area. I did used to have one around here because I think this is quite a nice area. It's nice to have this area covered by the tower. So I'll put that in there. And then you do need to plug them in, so you need high voltage power for them. But I've got a pylon right next to it like that, so I can plug that in. There is also a landing pad in the way. I can plug that in like that. Now, if I go into here, no, not into here. If I go into here, it's not charged. So it takes a little while for these things to kick in and get ready to function. You can see over here it is charged. It takes quite a long time to charge up. I don't know what the range is on them. And I don't think it shows it on the map, so I'll have to. I don't think the range is very long though, so I would need, if I wanted to have full coverage in this area, I would need to put down a lot of these. So I think these are more something you go back to when there's a shortage, when you have a shortage of components, rather than something where you just go, yeah, we always have that. Rather than something where you go, well, I'm just always in the Roboport area, like you do in Factorio. Okay, so we're discharging. What time is it? 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And the batteries are significantly depleted, but we're like 3/4 of the way through the night. So that's probably all right, but only just. And so I'm tempted to say, let's go out and, while I'm shaving some yaks, let's go out and put in a little bit more power generation. But also, let's have a look at the range. Okay, so there we go. Xenologistics is turned on and I'm in range. So you see, there we go, my foundations are filling back up again because I had insufficiency in them. I'm trying to have 2,000 and I have 1,200. So that's now, with the full upgrades, that is the speed that this system runs at. But let's find out how far away I can get before it goes pop. Okay. This far. It's not all that far, but also it's not pathetic. So I think that's probably, that feels like quite a good distance, in that if I wanted to carpet this whole area, if I wanted to carpet my entire mall with them, which I don't, because they don't need to pick up from the mall, I'd only need like 1, 2, 4, 6, maybe 8 to cover the whole area, and that doesn't feel unreasonable. So yeah, okay, I think I'm happy with that. That does seems perfectly reasonable. And then over here, there's another one of them there, because I know that I'm going to need lots and lots of resources every time I come out here to try and expand my empire. No, my whatever we want to call this system. I don't have copper. I'm not going to be able to make more cables when I run out. That's going to be the limiting factor for me trying to put down more power generation. Anyway, let's put down some more power. So I would like to select an area. It will be from, so batteries are on the extreme side of it, so I want to go from there to there to wherever. And I would like to do copy and place. I'd like to have another one of those, please. And I would like to... There's going to be some... I want to demolish any terrain that's in the way. There's a load of sand in the way. I want to demolish any decor that's in the way. There's a load that's going to get actually in the way, and it's not going to be automatically removed. That's really loud. It's so loud the music stopped for a second. Right, okay, so we'll close that for a second because I'm going to have to go in and laser these trees and rocks and things individually because... So the problem with it, the game... Actually, I'm surprised that one wasn't just demolished automatically. And that one, actually. I thought it should have... I thought the problem that it had with decor was when you were building above the... When you were building above the bottom of the decor. So if there was a gap underneath the foundation, but there isn't a gap underneath the foundation, so I don't know why it's being silly. Oh well, at least it's fairly obvious where I need to. Okay, the game has lost. The game stopped capturing the mouse. I've got it back now though, and I don't think I clicked on anything I shouldn't have done. The stream still seems to be running, and that's where the cursor went. So, and I don't seem to have moved my webcam view, so I think that's all okay. Right. I suspect that having the having a logistics tower on the station would mean that it would be slightly out of reach, I'm afraid. It's a nice idea though, good thinking. You could be right there, Regular, actually, yeah. It has been a bit iffy. Still got 13 blocked, supposedly. Let's go back into here. Right, have I just run out of stuff? Yes, I've run out of building blocks, I've run out of power line, I've run out of power line. Because that I'm not going to get from here. And I'm not going to get copper, so I'm not going to be able to build it. But if I come over to here, now we should be restocking. Yeah, there we go. We're restocking with building blocks. That's going to take a while because I need to have about 2,000 of those. So that may take some time. But rather upsettingly, one of the few things I didn't end up putting into a Xeno chest was copper. And if I had copper, I believe I would be able to make the cables that we use to plug things together. Where are they? Are they in components? Can't find them. Are they called cable? No, they're called... they're not called wire. Power line? Power line, that's the one. It's a handheld, apparently. And that takes 2 wire coil, which takes some copper. So if I had copper, then I could make power line, but I don't. So that's irritating. Quite importantly, though, notice I've put jetpack fuel onto my automatic replenishment thing, so I don't need to run out of that. Do I? Oh yeah, I do have 138 power line. Was I misreading the pacematon? That's quite possible. It's remaining to place. Okay, so it hasn't been able to place them because I don't have the solar panels and the batteries, perhaps, or the solar panels specifically. Okay, that's all right then. Oh, and I'm missing a power pole. Can I build a power pole out of anything I might be carrying with me? Is it a component? Surely it's not a component. Is it handheld? It might be a handheld, actually, given the way this game seems to define things. Okay. There we go. Power pole. You need... No. Oh, yes, I can make that. Because I can request xenophorite. I would like to have... I'll set that to 100. Because I end up picking up extra sometimes. So we have some of that. And we also have components. We can have some of these. Sure, 200. I guess that's a stack. So there we go. That'll start filling up automatically, and then I can make some of these. Simple, easy. Oh yeah, so I do. Oh well, now I have some more, and I have the capability to make more, which is also valuable. So I don't know why the game's being silly about placing some of this stuff. I don't know why. Yeah, why is it being silly about that one? I don't know. And why is it being silly about building blocks? I've got loads of that. Is there something that's... that'll be one of the 13 things that's blocked, I guess. Right, so there's some red there. What are you blocked by? Oh, you're underground. Okay. Well, I don't think I need that pylon, so we won't actually worry about that. There is some... Is there still a piece of terrain underneath there? No, that's fine. That should place. The copy-paste-matron may be slightly dodgy and have some issues. I'm trying to see if there's any more bits of foundation that I can see that... Oh, what's happening there? Yeah, I think that one's got... Yeah, that one's got a thing in it, so I can shoot that. And then I can't get in there to place it, but maybe with the copy-paste I can confirm paste. There we go. So that's 2. There's one more 2x2 space that has something in it, I suspect. Oh, there it is. And therefore I've not been able to place properly. Alright, how are we doing now? Confirm paste. Confirm paste. Still 9 things blocked. One of them's the power pole. There's some power line missing. And we've got a building. We've got 8 building blocks that we can't place. Fine. I think that's it now. Because I've done 8 of them manually. I don't care about the pylon that's along here somewhere. But I do need to check that I've got everything plugged in properly with this. So over here we don't. So how does this even work? Are you guys not supposed to be just all plugged together? Maybe not. Are they on the? I'm doing things differently to the way I was doing them before, and this bothers me a little bit because. Yeah, okay, so we're plugged into the pylons, into the solar panels there, and it goes up to the end and back and across and back. Fine. So the same goes on here, but these two are linked together. So it goes on here, and there's yeah, okay. So this seems to be all right. If I fly over this, I don't see any unexpected things that are unplugged. Okay, so that's a bit more power line put in, a bit more power generation put in rather. I would. Oh no, there is one missing. There is another one here that's dodge. Not you. You. How am I going to place that? I guess from here. And then come back out. And yeah, we don't actually need this bit. Right. Okay. So there we go. There's some more power, and there's an armadillo on my on my solar panels, but never mind. I'm sure it won't block too much power. Power lines from the. That's a good point. Do we have these? Is this actually connected to anything? Probably not. Let's hook that up to there, just to be sure. Good thinking and definitely worth checking. Right, so that is now a bit more power generation. Let's go and have a look at the robots. I think it fills up one thing at a time. Oh, there's a rogue goat wandering around in the middle of nowhere over there. I think it fills up one inventory thing at a time, rather than doing all of them together. So okay, here is a bot that we have a bit of a shortage of. Now they're running through. Oh no, sorry, it's not a bot. That's a robot part. Maybe that's why we're struggling down here. Oh, yeah, maybe that's why we're struggling down here with. Are you farmer robots? I think you are. So it was. Somebody made a note for me, didn't they? It was the. Let's click on. Oh, let's make that taller so it goes over both screens and I can see it properly. Combat and farmer robots to check. So yes, I think mouse. There we go. I think this is farmer robots. No, this is a minor robot. Okay, let's go and find the major robots. You're combat, aren't you? I'm pretty sure I did combat last, and they look sort of combat-y, don't they? Because they're chunky and armored and whatnot. Yes, so this is the combat robots, and they were one of the ones that was a little bit concerning. So I'll check all the inputs along here. Yeah, there we go. That's the weapon components I was talking about before that we just don't seem to be bringing enough through of, and that's probably related to the explosives. So let's trace this back again just to be sure, but it probably is the explosives. So that belt goes along here, right, and it's made. They're made here, and yes, it's explosives. There aren't enough explosives being made. This is a red belt. That's kind of weird. That then goes underground. Great. Where does it go? Okay, it goes around here, pops out over here, or at least carries on round that way. At least with it being a red belt, it's sort of easier to follow, because that means it's a red line on the map, and there aren't many of those left, because I've been upgrading them fairly gratuitously. So that comes out over here. Oh, sorry, no, it doesn't. It keeps going over through here. Hello. Through here, and then... yeah, I don't know. 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 It's possible it comes out along here somewhere. No, this is all science. Okay. I don't know where the other end of that belt is. I feel like making explosives in the petrochem area seems likely. There we go. Yes, they're being made here by this one machine that's right up in amongst absolutely everything. And therefore is going to be basically impossible to expand. Oh no. And then they just disappear into the ground and then head off to the science area, robot production area. Okay, well that's nice and expandable, isn't it? So what does it take in? It takes in low density olumite and crushed coal. No, I can't upgrade the machine. This is a fluid assembler, and there is only one tier of fluid assembler. So there's going to be a few more tiers of Laurence, I think, in this. Right, okay, so that's not too bad. Low density olumite, it's the purple stuff. Well, we're not going to do it in here, because that way lies extreme madness. I mean, it'd be fun to try and put in another copy of this on top, and then just link everything. It wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be fun at all. But over here, I have a lot of coal crushing going on. So, and also... Oh, hello. I have more explosives making happening here and going underground. That's interesting. Have I already expanded it? So let's have a look where I'm here. That's coming along from here. Probably. Let's massively increase the amount of explosives that are being made here and see if it makes a difference at the other end. So, what are the ratios like over here? So you are making 120 powder a minute. You are using 48 powder a minute. Lovely numbers there. So I can run almost 3. So let's run 3 machines off it, because why not? And then copy the whole thing again, and maybe even again if I'm feeling generous. So I would like to set a new copy up. So I'd like to select an area. That means from here, yes, to just this. There's always stuff in the way. To here. To here. Copy and place. Bang. Paste. There we go. So we won't quite have enough coal dust coming through to keep this machine running flat out, but we'll have enough to keep it running at least some of the time. Let's now do an additional copy paste. So I would like to select another area, and I would like to, this time I want to go from here zoop, to here, and I'll do the inserter manually afterwards as required. So I'll get that bit, and then you know what? I'm going to make another 2 of these. 2 of these. Oh no, I can't because that. Yes, I can because that belt is only. I can make another 1 of these. And then the belt will be in the way of making another. Probably. Or will it? No, it won't. I can do that. I can do that. Yes. Confirm paste. And I've run out of fluid assemblers. But other than that, I think this is going to work. Because along here, I can put this in here. Feed that in merrily like that. Then along here, I can not feed this in. Okay, it isn't going to work. Damn it, I was so close. I was hoping I was going to be able to put this sort of here. But no, it's 1 square off. Now, actually, no, that's not insurmountable because I can remove this. Then I can put this one in here, I think. No, I can't. The ramp is still in the way. That's a shame. Oh, I thought I was going to just get away with it then. It's such a tease, this game. Right. So, also I'm going to need some more foundation. All the way along here, like that. Just to be sure. Right, let's go and get some more fluid assemblers. Those I haven't set up every single type of machine to be brought out to me. Maybe I should, but it would require a major redesign of how I do a lot of my production of machinery. And I not really prepared to right now. Although it would make it easier when I'm flying along these sort of things, trying to find the darn fluid assemblers. There they are. Yoink. Right, confirm paste. Boop. There we go. Okay, so that I was going to say that should work. I'm actually slightly surprised I had enough red belts for that to work, but apparently I do. So right, there we go. We can see these guys all kicking in now. And actually we've got a little bit of activity down here from those ones, which is interesting. That must be because there was a bit of spare coal dust on the belt, in the machine's buffers that it just dumped out. Right, okay, why are you not running? Okay, you are running, you're just running slowly. Fine, that's as we expect. Over here then, right, well, we're going to have to extend this back a little bit. So we'll take out you, and you, and you, and you. And then we'll go horizontal for a little bit, like that. Whoop. Just a little bit, like 2 squares. Then we'll go down to ground level. Then we'll loop back to here, and there we go. That's fine. Now I can come along here and put in one of these, like that. And now this one will kick in, boom, just like that. And now we've got, I don't even know. So we had 3 machines making explosives before. Now we have, well, nearly 10. So I reckon I've tripled the production rate. We are using coal even faster now, but this belt seems to be okay. I might go back over to the other end and see how much coal the entire factory is using. And then, yeah, we have more explosives coming out here. Right, let's head back over to the bot area, but I'm going to go via the coal emerging area. The coal's not even the coal source, but where the coal comes into the factory. That's over here, and see how it's holding up. Yeah, this belt is not running solidly. It's running nearly solidly. If we start going much faster, I'm going to need to do a lot of redesign around here. Get a lot more coal coming in and have multiple belts coming out of here and stuff like that. But right now, we are okay. The box here is full. The belt here is not running solidly. So, coal, good. I'm happy about that. Give me all my stuff. How much stuff am I picking up as I fly over here, by the way? I don't see any numbers changing. Maybe I've got all the things I need. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to do, once again, I'm going to do a dump of all the low tier, the poverty spec belts that I've got, like that. There weren't any in there, but you know, I'm going to try anyway. And that, there's about 100 in there, so that was worth doing. And that, I didn't actually look at the numbers properly for that, so who knows. And that, 17 in there now. 7 to 197. Okay, that's 190 of those gone. And no ramps. Okay, fine. Oh, I was putting components in though because I'm filling up with these things because I'm supposed to be carrying 200 of them around. Okay, fine. Right, now we can come back over here. We can look at the we can find the belt of explosives. There we go. That is a healthier looking belt. So that's reassuring because that tells me that I've been putting the explosives in the right place. I wasn't just shoving them on some random belt and they were going who knows where. They're actually going to the correct place. And now we've got the belt still full there. We've got more of them coming in here. I don't know if that's actually any... Yeah, that's definitely better. We didn't have that many weapon components coming out before. I sort of want to upgrade this belt so that we get to see the benefits sooner, but on the other hand, it doesn't matter. It won't make any long-term difference. We're not producing more than a red belt's worth of explosives at the moment, so I'm going to leave that alone. Extend the downslope out further. Yes, exactly. How is the oil patch doing? That's a very good question. It's far enough away that I'm just in denial about it. It's still working, and that's the important thing. Yeah, it's probably a thing I should go and check on, but I'm not. I don't even know if I can. I can check to see if I've got oil coming out of it, but I don't know how to check how much is actually left in the patch. So if I switch over to this mode, these patches are still showing as existent, even though these are the two that have these. Have I drained that one? I don't even remember where that one is. Yeah, I've definitely drained these two. And this one. And now I'm tapping this one down here. I have no idea how much is left in it. It doesn't tell me useful information like that, unfortunately. That'd be quite useful for all of the patches as well, actually. If it could tell you that there was, even if it's a percentage, something like that, that tells you how much of that patch was left, it'd be very, very useful. But nope, none of that. You don't get any information about that sort of thing. Okay, so we are getting components through. I think we're getting components through faster because we are putting explosives in faster. We've got about half the machines running here, which is some. And okay, yeah, they're definitely coming out a bit more densely now, a bit thicker and faster. However, I think there's a certain amount of trying to fill up the buffers in these machines going on at the moment. How are you doing? You've got 3 actually. And you've got 3. So 3 is the number they fill up to. So yeah, okay. Actually, this belt is, I think, starting to back up a little bit, starting to fill up a bit. It's really hard to tell because they're being used up basically as fast as they're coming in. Yeah. See, it is gradually backing up. Not quickly, not at all quickly, no, but it is gradually backing up along there. And that means we have more going in there than we had before, and that in turn means we have more going down here than we had before. And also, when this backs up all the way to here in about 10 years, we'll then end up with quite a lot more heading down here. Like, it'll double again, and we'll have, maybe then we'll actually have enough. However, this is a red belt, so I don't know if we've actually got the improvements down here yet at all. They're being fed in here. We have yeah, we seem to have enough of both of the things that are being made here coming out, and enough of those. It's these we're short of. What are these? What's the these in this? Yeah, that there's always going to be something we're short of because we aren't capable of making the robots as fast as we're not making the components for the robots as fast as the assembly line is capable of making them. So it's probably, is it this one? It's heads also takes in weapon components. Right, okay. So they're being fed in here and they're being pulled out, yeah, to make heads as well as, or maybe just heads. No, they're going into the arms as well. Okay, that makes sense. You kind of expect weapon components to go into the arms, not so much into the heads. But yeah, they're being pulled in. Are you short? I mean, you seem to be running solidly. Yeah, this is running solidly. So I think it is in fact, a combat robot with freaking laser beams on its head. Yes, it does appear that way. So this appears to be okay, I think. Yeah, because these two machines aren't taking from that belt. Right, so we now have enough that all these machines are running at speed, which means we are now running this system at, not at full speed, but at the intended speed, the speed I was expecting to run it at when I put the system together. Basically the inputs are all adequate. We don't have any actual shortages along here. So that's actually really, really good, and I'm quite happy about that. So the combat robots now appear to be all right. What was the other type of bot? It was. I know somebody put it in the chat. Combat robots and farmer robots. I wanted to check. Did the farmer robots seem okay? Was that you guys farmer robots? I cannot remember. No, this is miner. Why is my miner robot production ground to a halt? Has it ground to a halt, or is it just? No, I don't think it has ground. No, I don't think it has ground to a halt. Okay, so this must be farmer bots then. Farmer bots were apparently problematic. What is going on with those? So we have all of this area as inputs. No, it's not. Those aren't inputs. Those are making another type of bot. This seems fine. I mean, I've moved on to better designs since I built this one, but the inputs are all running quite happily. I don't think there's a problem here. I think if there was a problem, I don't even know which components it would have been related to. All of this is stuff that, as far as I'm aware, has not had any issues. At least not that I remember. So I think this is probably okay. What was the other one? Combat and Farmer Robots. Right, let's have another look at the space station, see how it thinks it's getting on. Quick look down the Finances tab. So, they're all good. Farmer, yep, fine. This is what I mean about it being a dip for today, but that is gradually going to climb as today happens. So it's not a historical thing, it's just, that's a live number that is going up. Fine. Good. Everything is awesome. We are selling all of our robots at the rate we think we can sell our robots at. So I guess that means it's 11 o'clock. Can I build another type of robot from 11 o'clock? I think I probably can. Let's have a look at one. Let's pick out an easy one and try and get that set up and running. So put that away. Right, let's have a look at robot types. What have we not made yet? This is the hardest part of this is going to be remembering what we've actually made. So there's the transport drone, that takes hover engines. I have hover engines, I have circuit boards, polymer sheets, film. Okay, that's going to be pretty easy. Let's put that one together. Vacuum bot I haven't done. Clean bot I have done. Done that one, I think, but not that one, or was it the other way around? Or possibly I've done both. I'm not sure about those two. I'd have to check. They're down the far end if I have done them anyway. If I have done them, they're down the far end. Mining drone, maintenance drone, yeah, I think so. Combat drone, yes. Aquatic, and then the aquatic stuff I've not done because these all require the nautical chassis and ignium fuel rods apparently. So that's going to be a slightly more advanced thing that I'm going to need to do. That's so a component. Nautical chassis, and there we go. I knew something was going to require the super alloy at some point, and also high-tech machinery parts. Ooh, that's exciting. Which is super alloy, rubber, and low-density olymite. Okay, so there's some new stuff in there to make the hydro bots. That's going to be that's going to require running a couple of new belts down here. Have a new large area to start producing the high-tech machinery parts. Also a large area to produce a nautical chassis, since that goes into a number of different bits and pieces. We'll have to bring the super alloy in, but that shouldn't be too hard. Well, I can't remember if we brought rubber in or not. We'll have to bring low density olymite in as well. None of this is too difficult, but it is a significant step harder than just going in and doing, for example, the transport drone, where we have all the parts already. So let's go and make some transport drones. And that can come in over here. And actually, you know what? While we're doing that, let's set some more mountain to be deleted. So I'm going to turn my personal drones off for this. I want to select from there to infinity and beyond. No, 30 something and beyond anyway. Like that. And then up to... Can I do 38? Yeah, I can do 38. Probably. Like that. And then, same again. There to there to there to there. Ooh. Oh, bother. I misclicked. There. At least this bit's going to be easy. There to there to there. So we'll delete all of that. We'll delete that mountain basically, and then similarly, lolly down here. I'm going to want to go from. I'm going to try and neaten this up. So I'm going to go from here downwards. Right. So out to here, fine. Then down to. How far down can we go? We can go all the way down to the bottom. Excellent. All the way down to here. So we'll take that out as well. And then we'll nibble out this top chunk as well. So I'm going to go from here to here, and the sky's the limit. Why are you being difficult? Okay, we'll try it again. See if we can make the game not be difficult this time. So there to there. There. Right, there we go. I suppose I need to do another block over here as well. So we'll go to down here. I want to go from there to there. to ground level, like that. And that's left a little bit on the top because of the vagaries of the basically the way I'm trying to select things is a bit dumb, and therefore it always leaves a bit behind on the top because I'm trying to get a nice neat square edge to everything, which is why if I go from, see, I can go from here, and then I miss so much stuff on the top of this. But it does mean I can then come down here, like I can select out to here, like that, and then down to there. And apparently miss a bit because fail. Let's try it again. There, to, so we're coming out to here. And then all the way up. Right, there we go. So that's going to be a nice, neat chunk taken out of the mountain there. Oh, and there's a bit here, so I need to do as well. And that's going to give me all of this space to play with, basically. The idea being, if we demolish all of this, then I've got a bit more room to carry on just extending my factory out this way, making more and more robots. And I've now got a nice straight line along there, which is something I've been working on and off over the last few weeks. Right, bot time. Bonk. Bonk. So, I'm going to put in some foundation first, because everything starts with foundation. I'm just going to put in loads of it, to be honest. There we go, because it's cheap. And then I suppose I could put in one of the what's name towers over here. I haven't got high voltage. I have got high voltage power because it's been brought in for these things. So I could put one of my magic towers in over here and just charge up and restock whenever I need to. So let's do that before we start, because these things take a while to heat up. So I'll put you in there. And then plug it in, bit bop like that. I have kind of stopped worrying about cables clipping. It's a bit gross, but yeah, whatever. Right, so we can leave that to charge up now and get ready to rumble. Then over here, right. So I'm going to be making these bots, and as I said, I've got all of the components for that. We've got 4 things going in, 1 thing coming out. That's really easy. So let's put down an assembler. How am I lining everything up along here? Am I putting it right at the edge? I'm not putting it right at the edge. That's very sensible of me. That's surprisingly sensible of me. So I want to put it on this row here. And I want to leave room for stuff. So let's put it there. Especially as I can bring in a load of stuff along wherever here. In fact, this is one of the things I need. I could bring that in here. Yeah, so I can bring. Yeah, there's plenty of room to bring stuff in here, so that's fine. I'm going to program you so that then at least I've got a list of everything I'm going to need. I want you to make a robot. I want you to make one of these guys. And that means I need to bring in thermalite, plastic sheet, thermalite, plastic, green circuits, and hover engines. So we have thermalite here. Oh look, the weapon parts have backed up now. Excellent. Thermalite, green circuits here, plastic sheet here. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, hover engines. Hover engines are there. Right, so hover engines come in first. I don't have any of that. That's the thing we need to do first. So let's get that one running. Zoom. Right, hover engines are on this belt. I would like hover engines. I'm just going to bring 3 in on one side because I can. So we're going to want that to come in there like that, which means we then have the down ramp. Sorry, the up ramp there, which means we then take out that and that. Oops, too many. And put in a splitter in there like that, and that can go in there like that. Perfect. The next one is clearly thermalite because that's right here. Did I put that on the correct side? I don't think I did. Drat. No, they're supposed to come out on the other side. Fail. Okay, let's try it again. So take out that and that and that. Alright, so that was actually supposed to come out on the right, like that. And then go up and then feed into here like that. The thermalite then does the same, but 1 square further on, so that comes up there. And we can belt that in like so. And ramp and belt. So this means there's room for another belt to come through here carrying whatever it is that's on this belt, and then we could try, if we needed that to come out here, we'd work something out, probably bring it out and bring it up the other side over here, but that would be fine. Okay, I have screwed up slightly. This should have been 1 square further across, or these should have both been 1 square further that way, but actually it doesn't matter because we have 4 inputs and 1 output, so we're going to have 3 things on one side, so 3 things can go on this side. It's fine, it doesn't matter. So the next one is going to be the green circuit, which I still don't have any yellow belts to bring them in on, but never mind, because we can bring that through here like this to about here. Which side do you come out? You were also coming out on the far side. Okay. Let's put the belt in first, because otherwise I will make the same mistake again. So this comes. Yep, that's right. This comes over to here. Yep, to there. Then ramp goes there, and splitter goes there, and belt goes there. There we go. That's green circuits. Next up is the final component, the plastic, and that comes along to here. That also goes out on the right hand side. Also gets a ramp. Also gets a belt. Boom. Lovely. That's basically it. I do need to take the completed robots out somewhere, somehow, and they're going to come out here like that, and then travel over that way over there, until so I can put in another cargo landing pad somewhere, get them placed. In the meantime, I still need to put in the inserters, so I'll go in, out. No, don't do that. Stop it. Out. I'm too far away to boot the button. That's why I placed another thing there. And then in, boom. That should now be making robots. Yes, it is. Look, you can see the red bar. Transport drones. Yay! There goes one. And there goes another one. Yay! It's worked. It's happening. It's happening. Right. Now it's just a case of making it happen a bit faster, because one machine doing that, not really enough. So, and that is a job for copy paste. So we would like to select an area. We would like it to be an area that goes from here to here to here. But you know what? I'd actually like it to be one down from. Oh, I'd like it to be one more downwards, because that way we'll get the foundation, and if I carry on too far that way, we'll still get foundation and I won't have to lay it afterwards. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 machines making that. I don't know why 6, it just seemed like a number. I don't really have specific target speeds for making robots at, as you can probably tell by the way I just went and threw a load in there. So yeah, we'll make some robots. We'll make 6 robots. We'll make 60 per minute, 1 a second. Fine. See if I care. So that is a number. It will have to do. These things are 10 by 20, aren't they? And the belt's going 1, 2, 3 on the fourth or fifth square. Okay. So over here, I want to line it up with that. So it goes there. That means I put in too many of these. Boop. And that should be the 4th or 5th square. So that's 4. And then from here, I can make it right. Fourth square. If I then rebuild from here, right? I want it to be 10 wide and 20 deep. These are the small space ports. They only have an area of 200. All right, so that is powered as well, and I just need one of these. Do I have one of these? I do have one of these. Gosh, what are the odds? Right, we'll drop that in there. Boop. And no inserter required. Why are you being a silly? Oh, not configured. Okay. Fine. Configure. From factory to space station. These will be taking those things. Transport drones. Yes. Choose large ship type. Small. Nope, that's fine. Minimum amount to transport 100, just because that number should always be as big as possible so ships never depart empty. Right. Why are you not filling up? Oh, you're full. Spaceship! Bonk. Nyom. 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 I may have gone a little bit overboard with the rate I'm building these at. Well, actually, as the spaceship's filling up, it is pulling them in off the belt, so maybe. We just need to get the ships flying a bit. We need to make them a bit lighter so the ships can take more and then get the ships flying a bit faster. Yeah, the ship can, at the moment, can only fit 26 bots on it, but it should fill up quite quickly, and then... and once we do a bit more research into these bot types, we should then be able to get a few more of them into the ship at a time. That's my hope, anyway. Right, I'm going to float. I'm going to sit over here for a minute while we to let my inventory fill back up again. You can see down there in the bottom slot on the hotbar, I'm currently refilling on my with my foundation, so that's really nice. And we'll take another look at the space platform, because I think I need to do a little bit of configuration to make sure we're now actually going to be selling those things. So if we go to sales platform and transport drone, yeah, start selling them. Regular price, that's fine. As long as there is, right, configure that. We want to keep 200 in storage. That's just sort of, it's a standard that I'm setting over everything. So if I then go and look at storage and have a look at the products, okay, that's really low. That's one spaceship load. It's just been flown up there. That's fine. But basically, as long as they're around about 200 or ideally a bit higher, things are basically okay. Mining robots we seem to be very short of. We're selling, so clearly we need to make mining robots a lot more quickly than we are at the moment. That's interesting because yeah, there's only 17 of those. Other numbers are close. There's nothing that's not reasonably close to 200, unless it's 0 or massively more. Maybe I should start selling these a bit more cheaply so I can just sell more. No, I think that's bad. I think better to use the resources for making other robots and selling those. Yes, so yeah, when you go into the R&D lab, you can the transport drone's got one already. I can then improve the weight, which means I can then get more of them onto the ship. Heavy duty transport, these ones I've now upgraded. I've done all the obvious upgrades. Now we're just getting sort of slightly better efficiencies and things. Which, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm just gonna. I'll keep buying these up or taking these upgrades because they're free points, but I don't think they're really gaining me all that much compared to what you gain from product weight improvements. I did 12 mine robot 4. But yes, I think the product weight is absolutely the first one to max out. But it does, unlike the others, that does max out because it's a bit too powerful, I suppose. So they don't want you to increase that too far. So I'm just then going through and doing the other ones as well to a level. Basically, taking one number up 10 and then taking the other number up 10 because that seemed like a reasonably sensible way to do it. Right, okay, so now we are at least going to, when this gets up to 200, we're going to start selling them on the open market. We're not actually selling them to any of our existing customers that we're shipping them out to, which is where you get more of the money from. And at this point, do I have to go through every planet again just to see if they would like to have some things? Now over here we are trying to, that's all maxed, that's all set up fully. That's all set up. Oh, the transport drones, there we go. So this is one that needs to be tweaked. So I can come in here and go, yes, we have some transport drones. Close that, close that. So that's on that one. Over here, how are you doing? Would you like to... I mean, I could go in and just set all of these to maximum. Now that I think I've researched... Yes, now that I've researched all the bots, let's just set all of these to maximum. Because then they should, I think, if I understand how the game works properly, it should automatically kick in and start selling all of them when they become available. Now, at the moment, we can't sell operator bots or operator robots because we're not making them. But if we say that I would like to sell them as fast as possible, then when they become available, I think then they will start actually automatically getting sold. Oreo rocks. And right, okay, let's try and do this in a logical order. So we'll go out to Belican next. That one is already full. Crathium is not. We're not trying to sell science bots or personal assistant robots yet. So let's turn those up. There we go. Was that Belican? We did Belican. We didn't do Amuria. but that one is good already. Galaxian. There we go. Marine exploration bots. There's another one. All these hydro bots that I'm not making yet. We aren't even trying to sell because why would we? We're not making them. But I can go. But now that we've researched everything, I can at least go in and say yes. I would like to sell all of these at the maximum possible. Why is there a maximum capacity? What does that mean? Is that the maximum capacity of my ship? Yes, it is. Interesting. I've not hit that yet. So we need to turn that into from being cargo ship 40, which is a tier 2, small cargo ship tier 2, into a bigger ship. So what is this? This is Malvinox, right. So let's buy a tier 2 medium cargo ship. Why not? That is cargo. What his ship is? His number is that. That is cargo ship number 60. So now I can go back into the galactic market. No, I can't. I can go back to the galaxy map and go back to Malvinox and say you. Yeah, I can't take that all the way up to maximum because it's full. So instead, we'll deassign you. Okay, we'll add another ship then. That one. Then we'll deassign you. There we go. Okay, so that's now worked. I can go back over to supply configuration. Then I can put that all the way up to maximum and save it. Interesting. What about Laurence? What do you want? And actually, we're not even going to be able to use that. Well, we're not going to use the full capacity of that ship yet because we don't have some of the bot types. So it's not going to be shipping everything I've told it to ship over there anyway. But you know, we might as well be prepared for the future. And it's not like money is any kind of problem at the moment. We have more money than I know what to do with. Transport drone. Ah, there's another transport drone. We start selling those. Nice. Zoranor takes a lot of things, but it's got them all already. Did I check that one? I can't remember. Hydro mining bot. Well, we're not making those, but we will soon. Is that max capacity? Right. Okay. Let's buy some more large ships, shall we? Buy 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 large ships. Ha ha ha. Where was that? Was that Calrox? Yes, I think it was. So Calrox, I would like to, ship management, I would like to add a ship, which will be one of the chonkers. You're a small one, you're a chonker. So we'll assign you, and then deassign that one. Then we go over here, we go up to maximum, save that. Right, that's one done. So back up the tree down to here, Stratanorum. That's fine, that's got everything. You can see some of my ships on their way in and out over here. Now, apparently that is not actually showing where the ships are. It's just a sort of to give you a vague idea of what stuff looks like. Because it'd be too processor demanding to show where the ships actually were. Which I guess is fair enough, because you don't really care, I don't think. It doesn't matter where the actual ships are. All you care is that there are ships flying around, and it's quite nice that it shows any of them at all, I suppose. We haven't gone out there yet. Did I do Molarum? I think I did, yes. So Rani, Ran? Nope. Alright, and then over here, blip, nope, and nope, and nope. Right, okay, so why is these planets still not... Why is this area still not market share 100% me? What are they waiting for? They're waiting for... I don't know. Oh, probably the operator bots, fine. Yeah, I've only got a 12% market share because I guess the number of bots I'm selling out here is a bit underwhelming. So there are a few extra things I need to make, like operator robots and operator bots to get this area. And yeah, okay, fair enough. But while I'm here, I feel like I might as well grab a few more planets. What does Araxos want? Lots of... Oh, I'm making most of these. Sure, let's have that one. Open supply configuration. Right. Oh, ship needs to be assigned. Let's assign one of the small ones, just because there's no point in using a big one if we can use a small one. And just set everything to maximum. Like that. Nope, max capacity reached. Okay, we do need to use a big ship here. You can have one of the big guys. Take that back off again. Oh, it didn't. I didn't save it. All of those. 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 Save. Oh, what about out here? What do you want? Well, I'm making most of that as well, I think. Okay, let's grab this one as well, just because at this point it's sort of it's kind of a why not. I might as well just go out and grab as many of these places as I can, because I don't think I've got any reasons not to. Add ship. Let's try with we'll try with a little ship. I don't think that's going to be enough capacity, but we'll try. See how we get on, because I do have a few of those. I could sell them off and replace them with big ones, but yeah. If I don't need to, this one does need to be, but only just. That's kind of annoying. So we'll give it a big one. There we go. Deassign the small one. Back over here. Top that up. Save. Close. And what about this planet over here? I can do some of this. Again, are you going to be able to manage with a small one? Probably not, but we'll try. All of that. All of that. All of that. Nope, not even slightly. So we'll put in one of the big ones. Do this on the small one. Oh, I didn't press save. That, and that. There we go. Save. Okay, there's a few new planets added into my my network. What about let's have a look over here. Oh, I think this is all. Oh no, I haven't got personal assistant bots, but I've got nearly everything over here. So let's grab this one as well. I need to click on it again over here. Apparently, trade license, sure, whatever. Ship. Supply. Have some of everything. That one and that one and that one and that one and that one. And that one. Oh, it all fits. Nice. I'm glad I tried with a small ship. Save. I guess it's not that close, but yeah. Anyway, that's fine. I think that's probably enough for now, because it's going to get a little dull if I keep just randomly adding in here, and it kind of doesn't matter. This is just to provide me with a sink to give me a reason to make all of these robot types. So as long as I'm selling them through at a rate, who cares? Ah, look, we have ripped through all the transport bots, transport drones that I built. So this thing down here is now full up to 24, so it's nearly full. Here come the last two. So there'll probably be a ship coming down here any moment now to come pick them all up. But yeah, we are taking them away as fast as we're producing them. I guess I could fly along here and look at all of the outputs, like this one. I can see here. The belts are rather empty, and I could try and upgrade them all to the point where the belts are all full, like this one, rather than basically empty like this one. But I don't think there's really much point. As long as we've got enough of the bots up in space. Oh, there we go. This one is actually full. It was just that it was pulling a load through because a ship had just gone. As long as we've got enough of them up in space, there's no point in trying to make sure the belt is absolutely full virtually all the time. Things are generally being made fast enough. Actually, most of them are. Most of them do have belts that are fully backed up, actually. So yeah, it's probably fine. I think we're making most of the stuff at a good enough rate. So so I think this is all ticking over nicely. We'll check back in a little while, like sometime next week, to find out whether all of the bots are now being made sufficiently quickly to keep the system satisfied. The next thing, though, is going to be either making another type of robot. Actually, let's have another look at the space station to find out what I'm not making yet. Because if I'm going to finance, this is the easiest way to tell. So there you go, transport drones leapt upwards. So there's the aquatic bots, which we knew about. There's another aquatic bot, the operator bots. Let's have a look at operator bots. That's another aquatic one. That's another aquatic one. That's a full-size. Those are both full-size robots, but both of those could potentially be made as. Oh, and there's another one. So 3 more robots that we can make, but that's going to take a bit more time. So I'm not going to start that tonight. But the operator bot might be fairly straightforward. So let's take a look at that one next. Is that you? That's you. Yeah, that's all basic stuff. Essentially, I just need this again, but with different ingredients being put in. So, you know what? I'm going to just copy and paste this whole thing across from... I'm trying to get in underneath there, but I can't. Oh, let's start from the other end. Right, so let's go... I want to select an area. I will go from there to there. Actually, let's have a space just for sanity. Let's have 2 spaces for sanity. and then do that, and then I would like to do a copy and place, boink, and paste. There we go. That was really easy. I do need to reprogram all of these, of course, because these are all trying to make whatever drones it was I was just doing. And instead I want to make operator bots, and then copy, paste, 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 paste. That seems to have worked. Operator, 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 operator. Right, good. Okay. And to feed this, we need plastic, basic components, electronic components, and green circuits. You know what? I have a cunning plan. I'm going to take out all of this and start again. There we go. Remove all of that. Because if I come over here and I cut this belt and I cut this belt for the moment, just so we pull stuff through. Ooh, or even better. No, I have an even better idea. We put those belts back, but we remove that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Maybe not that far. At least that much of that. Then I can actually run an additional belt along here. This is much neater. So from there, and I have just left enough space over here that it can come through to here, and then it can go up one, cross here, and then it will go down one, but not just yet. Right, and then take out that and that and that. Now, is there any problem with this? Now, is there another thing that's going to come along here and run into that? So the energy cells are the energy cells are the first thing on the bus that comes along at the second level, and they come along here, and I'm probably going to need them for something else. So yes, they have to come. They have to have access to come straight through here. So that means I can't do that. But I can do this. I can have this go underneath there to here and then go up. That's allowed. And then go across here like this and then over to here. It's a little bit spaghetti, but that's what happens when you have afterthoughts. Yeah, so that's all legit, I think. Because then I can come along here. I can put in my output, my exerters along here, like this, 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 and for the sake of neatness, I will also extend this. Now they're all coming out the other side over here. Ooh, let's change the default on that back to default. Right. So now we should still have robots coming out here, except we seem to. Oh, we've run out of the hover motors, so I'm going to have to go back and look at that. But the point of this now is that I can now run my next row of machines. I can put them in here, like that, and I can then load that one there, and that one there, and I don't need to bring the plastic and the circuit boards in again. They'll just be there. So I'm going to configure assembler 2. I want you to make the operator bots. Operator bots, there we go. And you see they're already getting plastic and circuit boards in because those two belts are already there. I just need to now bring in the machinery parts and electronic components. However, I am going to distract myself slightly, and I'm going to go and find out why we don't have enough hover motors, because that is going to be a problem for a number of different robot types, I think. And that belt comes all the way along here. Whoop. Yep, still going, still going. It's here. Oh no, that's some being taken off it. Hover motors, hover motor. It comes from the sort of the weird, horrible, tangled area. Oh, it's just straight up. The belt isn't fast enough. to get them out at the speed they're being made. I don't have enough space in my inventory to pick up that much red belt. Okay, now I do. Boink. There we go. And also, if I'm upgrading that to red, upgrade to green, I'm going to upgrade that to green as well. Right, and that hasn't helped because somewhere along here, there we go, there is a splitter that is atrocious. So we'll do that and that. And then we'll try and follow. There we go. It goes down here to underneath there. There is another splitter somewhere. So I can upgrade that and that. There we go. That's greened all the way up to there, which is good. That's going to help quite a bit. That's going to increase the throughput fairly significantly, because it means that we've got the maximum throughput from the. Oh yeah, there's a slow splitter in here somewhere. I think there it is. No, that's a green splitter. Oh no, this is now just the rate they're being made at. Okay, well we'll carry on anyway because I might as well finish upgrading this bus because I can. That comes on to her here. You've got a yellow splitter in there. Sure, we'll upgrade that to green because, you know, just for the sake of completeness. What? I don't need 5 plastic in my inventory. Upgrade that. And then there we go. It's green all the way from there on. Right. Okay. So we're still not necessarily making them all that quickly, but we are now able to bring them down the belt at as fast as we can. So now we need to head all the way back up again and go right. Okay. So I've solved the problem of why they weren't getting passed down the belt quickly enough, but now why aren't they being made quickly enough? And that's from here. So okay, we've still got a slow splitter here, but that's not the cause of the problem. But it was slowing things down a little bit. So we've got a load of machines on. These are all running, but they're not actually producing enough. Okay. So the first step is going to be clearly to upgrade all the machines along here. That'll get me a little bit more. I think, is it 50% more? It's not an enormous amount. It's not like upgrading the belts where they double in speed, but it's an easy upgrade to do. That will get me a bit more throughput from the system. So there we go. We can do that upgrade. Now, the only other upgrade available is to upgrade the number of machines, and this does appear to be taking in all of the resources that it can. So I think let's do some more belt upgrades like that. Let's do some more throwing away of trash. I've got 2 of these bots. I don't really want those. I've got 12. Let's go and dump some stuff into the machines I've just put down. That'll get rid of a little. That'll give me a little bit more space in my inventory. The deconstruction of the mountain over here is still underway. Right, you. Whoop. Have some of that. Boink. And same with you. Boink. Right, okay. That's probably cleaned up some. Yeah, there we go. There's a bit of space in the inventory now. It's all these belt upgrades I'm doing. I'm getting all kinds of different tiers of belts, and that just fills up your inventory because there's so many different bits and pieces that go in there. There's also some other trash in there as well that I should probably tidy up, like biomass. Let's get rid of that. Right, so it was this line here, wasn't it? So I was going. No, it wasn't. That's something else. It was this line here. Yes, there we go. So let's do belt upgrade. Boom, boom, like that. And then also down here, just because I can, frankly. There we go, like that. That's going to bring, as long as the resources are available, it's going to bring them through a bit more quickly. And this is where we discover that down here we only have a yellow belt bringing them through, so we carry on doing the upgrades on anything we can find, like that. Honestly, why is that? I mean, that red belt is apparently fine, but why is it a red belt? Jeez. Obviously, because that was what I had when I built the area, but still. Then down here, right, you need an upgrade like that, and like, I can't see through. Oh, there it is. There, like that. Is that going right back to where they're made? Yeah, no. Okay, so I mean, we're unloading the buffers from this machine, so it's not going to last very long at this rate. But hopefully, dumping the buffer from this machine onto the belt might mean that we fill up the buffers further down and we'll actually have enough. I'm slightly doubtful. I think we don't have enough input along here. Yeah, we don't have enough there's not enough steel coming in, because the steel belt is not full enough, because presumably it's all just getting, well, stolen. Yeah, we have a green belt of... We have an incomplete green belt of steel coming out. Okay, upgrading steel is going to be a massive thing. Massive demand. 200 short inserters is a lot too. Yes. Oh, is that multiple stacks? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I suppose I could drop that down to 100 and I'll save some space. But inserters, I get through no, I think I'm going to leave that, because sometimes when I do a large copy-paste of a build, something like a steel production system, for example, that's an enormous quantity of short inserters, and I think having 200 of them is often quite useful for that. Alright, so over here we have hover motors, and we have some machines in the middle of the belt not running, which is slightly weird. But I guess that's just because all of the supplies have gone down to the end, and now it's just doing what it can with what it's got sat on the belt. We've chucked out a lot of hover motors from doing that upgrade, but we are just ripping through all of the advanced machinery parts that are coming in. I think it's because we've run out of steel. I'm going to have to go and sort that out. But yeah, we can see the hover motors coming through here. How is that now down at the other end? I mean, is it starting to back up at all? That's those gun parts. No, that has just all disappeared into this system over here. There's no without any sort of mercy. Now, granted, we now do have enough of these robots in that the belt is full, so this is going to these machines are going to fill up their input buffers and their output buffers, and eventually it's going to back down the belt. So it might actually be all right. So I think for now I'm just going to finish this off because I think looking at steel is going to be too big a job for today. So machinery parts and electronic components. I'm just flying over here because I like the idea of stocking up on supplies a little bit. I'm running a little bit. I used up a lot of green belts doing all those big upgrades, so I think it's worth coming over here and just topping up a little bit with them. And also it's really, really nice that I can just fly near to this thing and magically my inventory tops itself up. So that's really, really cool. I should have put it down there or somewhere over here actually, because there's pylonage over this way. Oh well, never mind. Right, that'll do. So, electronic components. Here we go. I actually do probably have lots and lots of yellow belts now, so let's use some of them up. So this comes along to down here somewhere, and we'll work it out in a minute which one goes first. But you're going to come to there. So that's the electronic components, and where are the mechanical components? Basic mechanical components. They are. Ooh, I can't see them. Are they underneath something? Or is it just that we've not used them for so long that they're way, way, way back up the belt somewhere along here? Right, so steel flying through there at a rate of knots. Oh, there they are, right over there. So we have used these fairly recently. It's just that because they're right over, they're practically underneath the construction machines. I didn't see them. So that goes from there. This is the right parts, isn't it? Let's just check. Probably, but I left a gap. There we go. Yes, that is what I want. Right. So I'm glad I did that rather than just going, oh yeah, the electronic components are really close in. They're bound to be the first thing we use. So these need to come off to the left. So from there I will. Do I have yellow splitters? I do have yellow splitters, so we'll use one of those. Actually, let's continue with the belt. Let's do what I did last time because that worked really well. Do the belt first. So the belt comes to here and goes down. The belt comes to here and goes down like that, and then we'll remove that piece because it's not needed. Then I put in a conveyor balancer there, and then a piece of belt there. Lovely. And then over here, do exactly the same thing. The belt comes through first. Come over to which side do you unload onto? You unload on the left as well. Okay. So that comes to here, then goes down like that. Once again, remove that piece. Put in one of those. No, in the right place rather than just weirdly in the sky. Then put in one of those, then remove that, and remove that. And there's all the bits and pieces we need for this build. So you do need a little bit more belt though, like that. And then we need the inserters over here like that, and the exerter like that. And the belt from that coming out, coming out like this, all the way over here. And then we need another one of these. Like that. Do I have another one of these? I do not. Okay, I'm not surprised. I was quite surprised that I had the other one in my inventory, but apparently I did. Right, you should be okay now. You should be... Oh, those are both short ones. Fail. Right, let's put one of the medium ones in there. There we go. Right, now that's working. It's making its bots. I will need to have multiple copies of this, but first I'm going to buzz off and get another one of the landing pads. Yes. Steel is currently made from depletable ore, I think. So one of the things I was going to upgrade was at some point I was going to start making steel off in the blast furnace area. I can't make it in a blast furnace. It has its own sort of funny ideas. Gimme. Yeah, I can't actually make it in a blast furnace, but I can make it from the vein over there, so it will never run out. It is quite possible, actually, yes, that the iron patch that's producing the iron ore for the steel has finally given up the ghost and is just ground to a halt. So that seems reasonably likely, to be honest, and is going to be definitely a thing to check out next week when I come out to try and work out what's happened to my steel. Oops. Right, so that's that, and you need to go into one of the inputs. Come on, there. Over to here, and boom, in like that. And come over here. What are you making? Oh yeah, the personal assistant, not personal assistant drone. The project drones, are they called? Something like that. That one, operator bot. That's the guy. So, yeah, those 160. Confirm. All right, and those are now being made. Not very quickly because there's only one machine doing it. But that's okay. That is a thing we can fix by coming along here and going, I would like to do a copy, please, and I would like to select a new area, and it's going to be from there to there to there, and we're going to do a copy and place, and we're going to have 6 of these as well. Just it feels nice number. There we go. And there appears to be a gap under there that I need to fill in with some foundation. Like so. And give it a minute or two for all the resources to flow in, and we should see all of these machines kick in. There we go. Lovely. And that's using, generally, I think this is all using stuff that I have plenty of at the moment. Because, yeah, green circuits are made out of plastic, which we have plenty of, and copper, which we have plenty of. It's certainly in the green circuit production area. Plastic, I just mentioned, that made out of oil, loads of that. Just made out of iron, plenty of that. Made out of copper, we seem to have a decent amount of that. And so these are coming out at a nice rate. And that's another robot. So that's 2 of them in the last hour of the stream. And on that note, I think this is going to be a very good point to finish because it is basically midnight now. Well, it's quarter to midnight, so I think this is a good time to stop playing. The mining is going on quite nicely over here. We're digging away big chunks of the mountainside, so we can carry on making our robots more and more off into the distance like that as we want. I could put in a bit more digging, but I think I won't right now. Next week, I'm going to take a look at the steel. So over here, I have my infinite supply of iron, so I will start digging that up a bit more and digging more of that out, and I'll put in a big steel production system sort of somewhere around here. Probably, I don't know, I might even put it in underground, you never know, or maybe I'll put it in over here. I don't know. It'll be in somewhere around here, and there'll be another mammoth mark belt going from whatever steel there back across this way to provide a huge amount of steel to the systems over here. Because yeah, I imagine probably what's happening is this xenoferrite patch here is nearly depleted, and that's why and so we're not getting as much ore through, and therefore we're not getting as much steel coming out. Oh, thanks for the follow, Ain Mamer. Thank you very much. Good to have you here. there is already a supply of coal being brought from the coal vein down here up along a really long belt, comes all the way up here and then across here, and that's being provided to the blast furnace to ensure that it is able to carry on just producing iron for forever. We're not. I don't know whether we're using this first or whether we're using the other one. I can't remember, but there is a good supply of, or at least there is a supply of coal being brought along here already. That was one of the belts we saw underground earlier when I was increasing the amount that was coming into the factory. I wouldn't be surprised if I have to expand the coal mining over here as I do this, because there is an awful lot of it being demanded. But that's a thing I can do. I just hope I don't need to then go off and either tap this patch or this patch, because they're quite a long way away, or this one, because they're all quite a long way away. But at least if I bring them in over here, it's all coming in from the same place, which makes it a bit easier to balance. So there are certainly possibilities there. But yeah, with a supply of coal coming up from down here and a supply of iron ore from here, we can make an unlimited amount of steel in this sort of area, and then feed that back along another green belt. Maybe try and make an entire blue belt of it. Feed that and then feed that into the robot production and anything else that requires steel, and then hopefully all will be well. And I could even go in and dismantle the steel smelting underground around here somewhere, but I probably won't. I'll probably just leave it there because there's nothing actually useful down. Actually, that's not true. All of the crushers and the furnaces could be reused for the new steel area, but by the time I've built it, I won't need it anymore, so I probably won't. But yeah, that's going to be, as I say, a job for next week, because it is now getting quite late. So hopefully next week I'll be able to set up some steel production over here, and maybe at least one more type, maybe the two new types of robots, 3 new types of robots even, and maybe some aquatic little drone bot things as well. And get myself a big step closer to actually finishing the game, because it's getting quite close now. I think I've gone through now. I've done all of the Xeno stuff. That took me a few weeks to do, but I've done all of that now, and it's got me some nice toys like that tower thing over there. In fact, let's put down. I said I was going to put down one of the towers over here, and I think I will, because that feels like a much better place to have it. Maybe over here actually, if I can get power to it. Yeah. So I think getting the steel up and running to a slightly higher extent, and getting some more robots built will be the order for next stream, because I've got to a good point now where where things are running quite nicely, and where all the alien xenotech is running quite nicely, except for putting copper into it. And maybe I should start putting some of the inserters I've got inserters. Maybe I should start putting assembly machines and a few other things like that in. I don't know. I'll see how things go and what I feel like. So that is all going to be for next week, though. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm glad you've. Thank you for sticking around, Board Easy, Regular, and everyone else who's still here. If you're watching on Twitch, please stick around. We'll go and find somebody to raid, because that's always nice. And we might be able to find somebody else playing Foundry. Who knows? In fact, you know what? I'll do that, and I'll switch over to here switch over to this while I carry on doing my outro, while I go off and look for somebody to raid. So yes, thank you very much for joining. I will be back for another stream on Monday at 7:30 PM UK time as usual, with the rest of the Planetary Pioneers gang. So we're going to be playing some more of that. I think we're going to be heading off to a new planet next week, although perhaps not immediately. We've got a few little things to do first, but we'll see how much we can get done, and whether we're ready to head off to a new planet. There will be videos coming out tomorrow and Friday, as usual on the channel. What? Foundry, that one. No! Given the game I'm trying to search for. It must be late, I can't use a computer. Right. What was I saying? Yes, so there'll be videos coming out on Thursday and Friday where I'll give you a bit of an update as to what's been going on in the Planetary Pioneers streams. And then after that we'll... And yes, as I say, then I'll be back on Monday, and then back again on Wednesday, when I should be going out and trying to get some more steel up and running. That was probably the most disjointed outro I've ever done. Sorry about that. It's because I was trying to find someone to raid at the same time. But we are now ready to raid. So thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you next time, and let's go. And to those of you on YouTube, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time as well. Bye bye.